Chapter 1 The Body is 10. In the dynasty, Longyuan Province, the first big family, the Fang's inner government, Wanxiang Garden, the fog in the morning has not yet dispersed, a group of Fangjiazi began the morning martial arts, morning exercises. Fangji's lord is the governor of Longyuan Province. Fang's ancestors came from the Yuha Gate, one of the top 10 sects of Shandao, 100 years ago, and then followed the great dynasty Taizu Wu Emperor to flatten the world. Longyuan Province, Qianlong in the Yuan, was originally a former capital city. After the founding of the great dynasties, I was supposed to be here, but because the land of Longyuan was too heavy, I finally gave up the idea of Dingdu. The great departure from the dynasty is a fire in the world, away from the fire. Suppressed by water, it is not appropriate to be in Longyuan, so it is only in the south to leave Beijing. However, the court gave this ancient capital to the Fang family, which shows the trust of the other party. Because of this, the Fang family is prominent, and the house covers an area of 1,000 mu. There are many courtyards inside, and there are countless gardens. When ordinary people go in, they must get lost. The name of the Fangjia Nifu garden can be seen. Vientian Garden, is all-inclusive. Oh, the fists whistled and the air swayed. These children, the movement is healthy, such as the evil tiger to find the sheep, such as the lion to smash the bull, such as the eagle to hit the white rabbit, such as the crane li song. The whole body movements are waist and squat, agile and fierce. In particular, their limbs in a large spine, between the movements and the open, like a 5-bow full, fists like arrows, falling like the wind, showing a solid foundation. But at this time, a pair of eyes, in the distant dark rock group, secretly watched their various actions. It turned out to be stealing martial arts. The master of these eyes is a 15-year-old boy with a delicate eyebrow and a gray cap. It is a small beggar. I found a sewer in the previous month, and I can go straight to the silt under the rockery in the inner courtyard. Otherwise, I can't enter the inner court to steal martial arts. If it is found, a dead end. But I can't always be a slave for a lifetime. Fang Han carefully observed the movements of these children. Any gestures were recorded in his mind. Nothing wrong, he is stealing martial arts. Fang Han is a small slave of the Fang family. His father was originally a family member, so when he was born, he was destined to be a slave to the family, even his sons and grandchildren, who would serve the party for generations. A humble family member actually sneaked into the inner government and sneaked into the master's family's martial arts. This kind of behavior is timid and not afraid of death. Coming. In the eyes of Fang Han, I saw a middle-aged man wearing a purple robe appearing in the distance training field, could not help but move his body. This purple-robed middle-aged man, 9 feet tall, angkang, erect his back, such as a sword like a gun, like a mountain, oppressed, although far apart, but Fang Han almost want to stop breathing. This is a master of the Fang family, Jian Ling Hand, Fang Hao. Weiming Hehe, famous for the great north and south of the river, is to teach the profound martial arts of Fangjia disciples. When the official, there are 9 grades and 18 grades. 1 product Shang phase, 9 products local inspection. And we cultivate the flesh, but it is divided into 10 weights. 1 health, 2 exercises, 3 moves, 4 rigid, 5 weights divine power, 6 heavy breath, 7 heavy inside, 8 heavy brave, 9 heavy psychic. Tenfold change. When the giant hand, wearing a purple robe appeared, all the disciples in the martial arts field stopped their actions, stood up and listened to his instructions. Fang Han also raised his ears and listened carefully. If you practice the flesh to the realm of the 10th change, the 5 horses can't divide their bodies. In that year, an ancestor of our family was caught by the enemy and tortured by 5 horses, but our ancestors made a haircut. The whole body strength, the 5 horses flew away. This is the strength of the flesh to the 10th change. The voice of the Jian Ling Hand, Fang Yu's words, such as Hong Zhang Da Lu, conveyed the strength of the 1,000, the tympanic membrane that shook the cold is faintly painful, it seems to be broken. 5 horses can't divide the body. How powerful is this person's strength? Can the flesh really reach this level? Fang Hengsen was shocked. But, don't think that the physical realm is the limit. This is the beginning. Our ancestors, who have been taught by the feathers of the immortals, are different from other families, knowing the flesh and the mysterious secrets. Only take off the asterisk of the flesh and step into the mysterious secrets, you can truly laugh at the world, besides the princes, for my family, Guangzong Yaozu. Flesh, supernatural. Listening to these words, Fang Han felt a door that had never appeared before, and opened it in front of him. He peeked at martial arts every morning here. He had never heard this words, and the giant spirit said in his mouth. 10 realms, even a clear ladder. What is the magical mystery? Just then, a family member asked. The so-called supernatural power is to break the world that ordinary people know. The giant hand is talking between the eyes, and the eyes are also showing a dignified look. For example, the physical martial arts exercise to the limit, you can tear the tiger leopard, and force the big tripod, but you can hold your own hair, lift yourself up. I lift myself up. How can this be possible? Obviously impossible. It is against the normal truth. Another disciple quickly said, it is impossible. No matter how big the power is, it is impossible to lift yourself up. Fang Han silently said, to do things that are impossible, it is called magical power. Otherwise, what is called magical power? The voice of the middle-aged purple robe is like a good drink. Break the world that ordinary people know. This is the magical power. Bring yourself up. This is a watershed that enters the mysterious secrets. In addition, there are all kinds of magical powers, spitting water and fire, volleying, controlling lightning, flying swords, killing. This is the means of magical powers. Did you cultivate to the realm of magical power? Fang's disciples asked. N-O-V-E in .c Ohm. The mysterious secrets are not the same. The high-ranking people who can step into the mysterious secrets are all amazing people. I have only cultivated to the 8th place in the flesh. If you practice in the mysterious world, then I can to be sure, the location of the Fang's family is yours. And I will leave you with a very high title to cover you. From the physical body to the magical mystery. It is even harder than going to heaven. If you are able to cultivate into the realm of the 5th vitality of the flesh within 3 years, open the bow of 1,000 pounds, gallop like a horse, have a horsepower, then it's already a happy event for my family. Well, these legendary things, I'm going to tell you today, to give you a long-term experience, to give you the confidence to practice hard. Let you know that the scenery is infinite, rich and infinite. The giant hand squatted and sipped. Now I am practicing, Songhae Wansho boxing. This is the upper-level refining movement that our ancestors have learned from the feathers of the feathers. You have to understand the artistic conception and charm of it. I will also one by one. Let me explain it to you. Remember, you must practice the physical body to the limit before you can step into the mysterious mystery, because my ancestors said that the magical power is the mysterious force produced in the brain, called the magic force, the so-called magical power. The magic power is boundless. Only when the flesh is strong to the limit, the heart can deliver a huge amount of blood nutrients to the brain, and the mana will be produced. Not strong, no magical power, no talk. Songhae Wansho boxing. Fang Hanxiang held back the excitement in his heart and peaked. Less than half an hour later, Fang Han eavesdropped on the explanations of the giant hand Fang, and suddenly absorbed the experience of stealing martial arts for 1 month, and understood the truth of exercising the flesh. The physical practice is divided into 10 steps and 10 realms. A certain realm, health, is to raise the body through regular, good diet, sleep and other cultivation. The dual realm, training, is to run, weightlifting, jumping, hitting sandbags, kicking legs, squats, turning somersaults, walking plum piles, and thousands of methods. Exercise your limbs, waist and abdomen muscles, full of strength, flexibility and greatly surpass ordinary people. Triple realm, move. It is through the practice of various moves, the strength of the limbs, waist and abdomen are connected in series, the bones are square, the atmosphere is harmonized, and a whole is formed. 4 realms, rigid and soft. The whole body up and down, the waist and leg bones, the shoulders of the back, the strength of the elbows and wrists are tempered, and the blood are harmonious. If you want to be soft, you will be soft. If you want to be hard, you will be hard and soft. Flexibility, coordination, reaching a limit. It is like a wind, falling like an arrow, flexible and comparable to a civet cat, a monkey. 5 realms, divine power. After the whole body is soft and flexible, further cultivation, the body will become stronger and stronger, with 1,000 spirits, force like a horse, and move hands, all parts of the body, such as a well-trained army, vigorous and vigorous. Among the bones, the thunder is rolling. If you cultivate to the realm of divine power, it is basically the number 1 character. As for the breath behind, the inside is strong, brave, psychic, divine, and 5 realms. The giant hand Fang did not elaborate. Fang Han is not anxious, he secretly listened and tried to figure out this month. He basically knew the basic principle of training the body and cultivation, and he could start practicing himself. I have mastered the steps of cultivation, hee. I secretly worked hard, and one day, I will be a blockbuster, and I will leave the servant's identity. Fang Han knew that he had risked stealing a month, and finally seized a chance to change his destiny. Oops, I forgot, this morning, Miss Tu is going to go out for hunting. I want the snow that I have raised. I was astonished, and suddenly I was shocked and remembered a thing. Thinking of this, Fang Han no longer had the heart to eavesdrop, and quietly climbed into the sewer from the darkness of the rockery, out of the inner government. Fortunately, it was not discovered. This is also the real hand of the giant spirit, and has not cultivated into the realm of the ninth heavy spirit of the flesh. Otherwise, there is a subtle sense of any gaze, and Fang Han can't escape his eyes and ears. Chapter 2. Minions. Chapter 2 Minions. Fang Han is a slave in Fangjia. The thing to do is to raise a horse, and to raise a famous horse for the second lady of Fangjia, thousands of miles of snow. Raising horses is a hard work. In the middle of the night, it is necessary to add forage, especially to support famous horses. At this time, Fang Han should give sweet snow, soy milk, mix eggs and soybeans, and various exquisite feeds, and eat them in thousands of snows, then pull them to the racecourse for a lap and digest food. Waiting for the second lady of the party to come. However, because I peeked at the inner government to practice martial arts this morning, the appearance of the Jian Ling hand, Feng Yu explained the physical condition, and the mystery of the gods, which made him forget and put the most important things on hold. Sure enough, when Fang Han hurried to the racecourse, he saw that the thousands of snows he had raised was riding by a temperamental and noble woman. Next to the woman, standing and squatting, there are escorts. As well as several young men and women who are also riding on the horse, they are all shimmering, showing a low-level cultivation. Fang Han, you have smashed the catastrophe. You are not going to kneel down and ask the second lady for sin. Seeing Fang Han appear, an old man hurriedly ran over and snarled at Fang Han. The big manager, I have a stomach in the morning. Fang Han ji arbitrarily. This old man is the general manager of Fangjiachangchang. I don't care what you do, delay the second Mrs. Thing, it is a great disaster. How to be a slave, you have taught you since childhood, you still don't understand the master's things bigger than the sky. The old man scolded. You are the square cold that raises 1,000 miles of snow. Miss Tu asks you to ask questions in the past. At this moment, a long-eyed, high-spirited cockroach, seeing Fang Han, snorted, 5 fingers, like an eagle catching a rabbit, directly grabbed Fang Han's shoulder. When Fang Han suddenly felt that the whole body was tied up, he was actually raised by a small cockroach. This trick is called crane paw ink. This is 2 or 3 times more powerful than me. Fang Han looked at this trick, strength, and suddenly remembered the experience of stealing martial arts. However, he couldn't hide at all. Although he peaked for a month, his heart was open, but he had to practice a lot. How could he compare with the closeness of the second lady? What's more, even if he can't hide, he can't hide. Otherwise, the disaster will come to an end. Boom! Fang Han was thrown to the ground and his body was sour. Oh, good, come back. That slap kicked Fang Han's foot. You are Fang Han. The whole body was white, and the gods were incomparably 1,000 miles of snow. The voice of Miss Fang's voice was conveyed and she was high. The villain is Fang Han. Fang Han bowed his head and answered with pain. He knows that this second lady is called Fang Qingwei. She is very powerful, she is a sinner. If she reveals something that she is not satisfied with, she is afraid that she will be worried. My 1,000 miles of snow have been well prepared by you. You can see that you have cultivated it with your heart. But this morning, you lost your job. Fang Qingwei said coldly. I don't care what you have, as a slave, everything is for the master. This is the rule of our family, and it is also the rule of the next person under the sun. This 1,000 miles of snow is your life, you fight for life, you have to wait for it, understand? The villain understands that the villain must fight for his life, and he must raise a horse for the second lady. The man is in the horse, and the man is dead. The second lady spared the villain's sin of dereliction of duty today. Picking up garlic, this time he naturally knows what to do. In the gimmick of sincerity, Fang Han's eyes sneaked into Fang Qingwei's boots on the stables. Fang Qingwei's boots are pure white in color, embellished with jade, delicate and gorgeous. Looking at the boots that are high above, Fang Han thought, one day, I can let others look up at the boots. Take him 10 whips and remember this lesson. Fang Qingwei was on the horse, waving his hand. Yes, next to a cockroach, immediately picked up the whip, and smashed it on Fang Han's body. Snapped, snapped, snapped. Fang Han's body was awkward, and the heartache was so painful. The hand was very strong. Every whip and whip were flying in the air. The shock blew out, almost all his bone shelves were scattered, but he bit his teeth and held back. Cold sweat dripping. After the 10 whip is exhausted, it is almost to be soft on the ground. Miss Xie to whip. After Fang Han finished the whip, he brought up the last breath. This is the rule of being a family member. If you don't say this sentence, then you are not satisfied with it. You are not a whip. Good. The second Miss Fang Qingwei nodded with satisfaction. I do things, rewards and punishments clearly. If you lose your job today, you must smoke your whip, but this 1,000 miles of snow, you have raised your heart, energy is strong, and there is no private. I am going to reward you for the act of deducting the horse food. Take it. A shiny silver ingot fell from the horse and fell to the square. This silver ingot, with a fine flame pattern cast on it, and the words of the foot line, is obviously the official silver of the dynasty. 5 or 2 is equivalent to the income of Fang Han for 1 year. This is a good reward. Fang's horses eat better than people. Every day, there are a lot of eggs, soy milk supply, and many family members secretly deduct the horse food to eat themselves, but Fang Han does not have such behavior. This reward seems to be Fang Qingwei. Remember, be the next person, do the wrong thing and punish it. If you do it well, you will reward it. As long as you are loyal and focused on your heart, there will always be your benefits. Fang Qingwei left the reward and looked at the side young men and women said, let's go, don't miss the time of hunting. The second lady has a good family. A young man watched Fang Qingwei dispose of Fang Han and praised him. The family is big, the population is large, and of course, these slaves must be disciplined. Fang Qingwei's voice is very cold, always a cold and noble tone, but 4 words, Enwei and Shi. How to behave, how to spread, this is the heat, just grasp it. Between these young men and women and Fang Qingwei, the horses raged away. Oh, Fang Han, you have benefited this time. Although you have smashed the 10 whip, it is a good deal to get the reward of the second lady and the 5 official silver. Yeah, 10 whip can be exchanged for 5 or 2 silver, I am willing. Who is not willing? Fools are willing. Fang Han, this time I made a fortune, treat guests. After the departure of Qingwei, some of the horsemen in the racecourse were surrounded by horses, and the silver in the hands of Fang Han showed an envious look. This time I whip, I will see the silver. Next time I will kill you, thicker. Looking at these people, Fang Hengsen smiled coldly. The guest is for sure, but I am hurting all over the body. After the injury is raised, I must invite you to dinner. He made a groan, screaming pain, his face twisted, and limping away from these. Human entanglement. If I practice the magical mystery in the hand of the giant spirit, I wonder if Miss Tu will first whip and give sweetness to eat. Will the position be changed? I will take the 2 young ladies with a whip and then reward the silver. After Fang Han returned to his hut, his whip marks were relieved. He held the 5 silvers in his hand and knew that this was the usual means of managing the family. The first showed that he was rewarded and punished, and the second showed that he was obsessed with the truth. Other slaves. The third fight and reward, can make the next person not to produce grievances, more loyal to the main. November LBJNN. However, Fang Han was tired of this kind of life with human beings since childhood. This was his father secretly taught him, Ning is awkward, not a slave. Chapter 3. Magical. Chapter 3 Shintong. Longyuan River, endless, magnificent, and looking endless, it seems that there are really dragons lurking in the bottom of the river. This is an important river in the territory of the country, stretching for thousands of miles, the waves are soaring, the waves are shot, and the river flows through Longyuan. Longyuan province is named after the river. Dark night. From afar, the Longyuan River is like a huge black dragon, entrenched on the earth, smashing the atmosphere, and showing the glory of the water. The bright moon glides through the lotus clouds, and the night wind blows the gourd clusters, adding a wonderful mood. However, just 100 miles away from Longyuan province, on a sandy beach, a middle-aged man dressed in dark gold clothes and tall and burly, keeps running and jumping, compared to the fastest cheetah. I have to go up 3 more points. Oh. Between his speed and running, the flesh actually tore the air out of a long wave of air, which surged and smashed like a river. The fastest Maxima is not half his fast. Hey. Just between the middle-aged man in the dark golden dress, suddenly there was a torch on the edge of the river in front. The figure flashes. In the end, there were countless screams of screaming sounds. Flying cranes. The middle-aged man faced the arrow rain, his brows were slightly wrinkled, his body was down, like a piece of paper stuck on the beach, and he even escaped the continuous shot of the arrow. Bai Hai Zhen, you can't run. Give, Jui Jindan, and, Huofu Wangquan, to it. Put it into our house, not only for death. You can also enjoy the wealth and prosperity. Practice in your body to the realm of 10 gods. My family absolutely treats you as a guest. Quote. The torches were bright, and hundreds of people surrounded this middle-aged man named Bai Hai Zhen. One of the leaders took the lead and stood between them, and they were all in control. Dressed in a brocade suit, 2 white flowers, the face has a vicissitudes of seeing the world, the eyes are particularly bright, reflecting the moonlight, such as gems. Long Yuan Fangjia, Fang Zishan. Bai Hai Chan stood still, looked at the leader of this speech, and then circled around and found hundreds of people surrounded by himself. All of them are full of power, divided into several waves. The inner layer is a samurai who shines with a long sword, and the outer layer is take the warrior aiming at the company, and the outermost layer is holding the torch and blocking it. The warriors who took the flail, the lichen on the hand, carved a crane with a white god, and the arrow was ejected from the mouth of the crane. This kind of flail, with a very long range and strong hole penetration, is the true weapon of the Longyuan provincial party. Yes, it is me. Fang Zishan smiled. I don't think Mr. Bai Hai Zhen can actually recognize me. Your brother Fang Zitao is the governor of Longyuan, the tyrant of the dynasty, the Fangs One, and the favor of the emperor. I came to the square, how can I not get familiar with the characters? But you actually know that I have 9 Chao Jin Dan A Jiao Fu Huang Quan too. It seems to be the news from Yuhuaman. Although Bai Hai Zhen was surrounded, he did not care, and talked. My ancestors are the disciples of the feathers. This time I am waiting for Mr. Bai Hai Chen here. It is the Feihei biography of Yuhuaman. Fang Zishan's body moved, his footsteps stepped forward, and the bones trembled slightly, as if playing a kind comfortable music. Yu Bai Hai Chan, found in the Wangquanshan ancient tomb crouching Wangquan map, Jui Jindan things, others do not know, but the feather door is known clearly. Jui Jindan is a remedy that can help people to see the mysterious secrets. And the crouching of Wangquan map contains a secret of a treasure. The family wants to be, is it a plot? Bai Hai Zhen laughed. Stop, hovering Huang Quantu, my family is naturally dedicated to the emperor. And Jui Jindan, can let my family achieve a master of the mysterious secret, greatly enhance the status of my family in the court. Fang Zishan suddenly shouted, it seems that Bai Hai Chan is not willing to hand over these 2 things. Then I have to take it on your body. Is it? Bai Hai Chan's eyes suddenly glimpsed, and the eyelids were in the gap, and the light was bursting. Bang! His body rushed, his body was hunting and swaying, his body was like a fish, like a dragon, and he was tens of steps away. He even went to the front of Fang Zishan and let his people have no chance to react. November LBJNN. Fang Zishan only felt the air around him being squeezed out by hard and hard. It seemed to form a vacuum for a short time, and then a giant fist, constantly expanding in his own eyes, to explode his own head. The power of a punch is fierce. Crane dance in the sky. Life and death. Fang Zishan finally showed his extraordinary strength, the 2 big muscles on the back, oh. It seems that the cranes spread their wings and the body became light and fluttering. The body flashed out. Well, Songhai Wanshou boxing. You have cultivated into the realm of the naked body, but still not my opponent. Call your brother Fang Zitao. Between Bai Hai Chen's words, the body did not stop, but rushed into the crowd. Hey, a guard was directly shattered his head, and the corpse was on the spot. The 5 guards' temples were pierced by his fingers and bloody. Then the 10 guards were hit by his ghostly body and flew up on the spot. The 5 internal organs burst on the spot. It is a general car that has been hit by a horse. The flesh is cultivated to the realm of the 10-fold change of the gods. The 5 horses can't separate the corpses. It can be seen that their strength is strong and their bones are strong and strong. They are simply invincible in a weapon of humanity. In the twinkling of an eye, surrounded by hundreds of people, it was instantly broken by Bai Hai Zhen. Fang Zishan, you dare to stop me, write down your head for the time being, and come back to take your life in the future. Bai Hai Zhen broke through the encirclement and went away. The remaining guards shot the flying cranes, but the arrows hit his body, but they were blocked by the dark gold clothes and could not penetrate. Obviously his dark gold dress is a treasure chest, not afraid of the sword. There are treasures to protect the body of the 5 horses, between the world, who can block. White Sea meditation, if it comes, it is safe. Why should you rush to go? At this moment, suddenly a sound like a cloud of smoke, the sound of the sound. Who? Bai Zen stayed in the body, motionless, such as mountains and rocks, and the spirit was condensed into a group, sensing around. Later, in his eyes, a white woman, the skin is fat, the eyebrows are crooked, and the jade bones are coming from under the moon by the river. It seems to be a fairy out of the moon palace. It also seems to be the dragon princess in the Longyuan river. The heavens and the earth have become clean and swaying with a holy taste. As soon as this white woman appeared, those guards immediately stood up and solemnly, Missy. Fang Zishan also stopped. Qing Shui, how come you are back? This white woman is Miss Fang Jia, Fang Qingshe. Uncle, I just came back from Yuhuamen. Fang Qingshe nodded to Fang Zhishan. Take me the things here. Give it to you, it's a big breath. Bai Haichen looked at Fang Qingshe, and suddenly he raised his hand, squatting, a black light, and directing Fang Qingshe. This black light is a palm-sized flywheel with sharp serrations on both sides. This is the White Sea Zen Killer Smasher, Wu Wheel, tungsten steel to create, with the power of the gods of the 5 horses, a trip out, within 300 steps, Wugwang Flash, any master, have to be immediately pierced. This move is a trick for Bai Zen to kill. He is confident that even if he is a master of the same level as him, he will not escape. However, abnormal changes have occurred. The Wu Wheel hit Fang Qingshui's body 3 feet, suddenly stopped. There is no reason to stop living, as if there is a circle of invisible force around Fang Qingshui's body to freeze everything. Nourishing. A dense grid of hairsprings, crystal glare, reappeared around Fang Qingshe. All the people present felt strong currents, numbness, skin, hair, they are all erected. The current is pumped on the Wu wheel, made of tungsten steel. The Wuwan wheel actually melts like a candle, falling on the beach, the high temperature of the metal melts, and the sand stimulates the smoke. Around the flesh, there is actually a dense grid. Melting iron. This kind of power is no longer a living, but a ghost. Ah, the magical mystery. You stepped into the mysterious secret. At a young age, you have actually cultivated such a realm, and you are shocked. The Fang family wants to dominate the world. The feathers of the world's fairy martial art have a genius. Bai Zen was shocked and snarled. Turn around and run wild. The body is cultivated to the extreme, a powerful body, the heart delivers blood to the brain with a huge amount of nutrients, and the brain gradually develops its potential. After special cultivation methods, this potential becomes a mysterious mana. With mysterious mana, you can manipulate thunder, fire, physical volley, UGN murder and other things that ordinary people can't do. This is the magical mystery. Between the world, there are a lot of martial arts masters, but there is no one in the martial arts. The magical mystery, stepping in one step, is the barrier of heaven. Although Bai Zen cultivated the flesh to the limit of the realm of change, but to break through and step into the mysterious secrets, it is even harder than going to heaven. To deal with this master who stepped into the mysterious secret, Bai Zen can only escape. Purple electric knife. Looking at Bai Zen escape, a few breaths, has quickly escaped from his own sight. Fang Qingshe white fluttering, a low and long sigh, a finger volley pick, a group of fist-sized purple electric thunder in the hands brewing, dripping, and then the fierce bombardment went out and turned into 6 knives, 1,000 steps, and it was killed by the air. The powerful current rushes past and the reeds on the river are burning. Boom. There is no room for dodging. Bai Haichen was hit by the whole body. Suddenly there was a scorching smell. The treasure that could withstand the sword was also torn by strong currents. Oh. He ran wildly and fell into the rolling Longyuan river. The vitality is destroyed. What is the use of escape? Fang Qingshe stepped out. The body actually floated in the air, came to the river, the rolling waves flowed under the feet, and saw the place where Bai Zen fell into the water. She grabbed it with one hand. A powerful suction came out of her palm, and the river was sucked into the sky, forming a large bucket column. The body of Bai Zen was actually caught in the water column. The crouching Wangquan map. Fang Qingshe looked at Bai Haichen's body, and then picked a finger, a scroll picture, and a palm-sized gold iron box, was motivated by her mana. Seeing that these 2 pieces of Qi Shijun will fall into the hands of Fang Qingshe, the situation suddenly changed. In contact with the nourishment of mana, the scroll picture suddenly shocked, hee. Expand it. This picture, the background is dark, deep and dark, like the 9 secluded yellow springs. In this, there is a faintly squatting dragon, like sleeping and not sleeping. Suddenly, this dragon opened his eyes, and rolled up Bai Chan, and even plunged into the river, and there was no trace between them. It turns out that this crouching Wangquan map can't be contaminated with mana. With my mana drive, I feel a little strength. It is an ancient mystery with great mystery. Fang Qingshe thought thoughtfully. Looking into the river, there was no shadow at all. When the dragon enters the water, it is 1,000 miles away. How can it catch up? Qingshe, you actually cultivated into the magical mystery. My family has finally come out with a powerful person in the mysterious world. Fang Zishan was very excited. Although he ran by Hai Zhen, his heart was still ecstasy. 2 uncles, send people to arrange, search along the way. In the territory of Longyuan, I have to search the upper and lower reaches of Longyuan River. Bai Hai Zhen has my purple electric scalpel, the vitality has been cut off, and it will not last long. The crouching Wangquan map only absorbed a little mana and ignited the big array contained in it. There is no big problem. If I find this picture, I will go back and offer it to Yuha. Fang Qingshui's tone is faint. I will go back first and see my father. Between the talks, the shocking woman who cultivated to the mysterious secrets, gliding in the air, like a crane, disappeared into the eyes of everyone. The order is passed down. Officials from various counties and provinces must use personnel to search the whole territory. Fang Zishan issued an order. The owner of the Fang family is the governor of Longyuan province, who has a large army of martial law, military and political affairs, and the highest power of civil affairs. The decree goes on, and no one dares to defy. Hi. The night passed, and it was already in the early morning. After Fang Han had finished his work, he quietly hid in the reeds along the Longyuan River outside the city. In accordance with the method of stealing his own strength to exercise strength, he kept doing various exercises and exercised his own power. After being whipped by Fang's second party, Fang Qingwei, and after enjoying the silver, Fang Han became more and more hard to practice. On his limbs, he tied a few sandbags, ran, jumped, and rolled up and down, trying to make his limbs, waist and abdomen full and powerful. As for the Songhe Wansho boxing, which was cultivated by the core children of the Fangjia every morning, it has been clearly remembered in one stroke in one way. He did not practice. Because he already understands that he must exercise the strength of his waist and abdomen, and have enough flexibility to exercise. Otherwise, there is no effect, any moves, no power, are empty shelves. Health, strength, moves, triple steps, step-by-step cultivation. Punch with a punch and punch, sweat splashing, under the morning light of the reeds, sparkling with crystal light. Damn, suddenly, Fang Han hit a simple sandbag and hit a few hundred times in a row. He felt the Venus in front of his eyes, his head creaking, and his physical strength was overdrawn to the limit. Subsequently, his legs were weak, squatting, and soft in the reeds of the beach. It's still not good. Although these days have improved life with 5 or 2 silvers, they can't compare with those of the core disciples. They are eating bird's nest, antler, ginseng, and black bone chicken every day. And my 5 or 2 silvers are only occasionally. It's impossible to do the intense exercise every day with a few meats. Lying on the beach in the sky, Fang Han sighed. It turned out that these days he sneaked into martial arts and secretly exercised. Although it was small and effective, it was far from being compared with those of his disciples. After all, the foundation of health care is too different. In this way, he is not likely to exercise the body to the realm of divine power. Being a slave, reading can't get out of the way. Wugong has no way to cultivate. Is it my life to be a man, a slave? There is never a day to go. Fang Han muttered. Oh. Just then, there was a water ring in the reeds by the river. It seems like a big fish is stranded. What happened? Fang Hanqiang climbed up with a sore body and went out. Just look at the whirlpool in the reeds, there is a person floating. This person is wearing dark gold clothes. Chapter 4. Jui Jindan. Chapter 4 Ju Jin Jin Dan. Someone drowning. Fang Han quickly jumped into the water and saved the man. No gas, this is a floating body. After the rescue of the person, Fang Han's heart tightened fiercely. The scene in front of me is indeed a bit astounding. This person has completely died, his body is soaked in water, a long scar on his body, turned over, and the wound is actually burnt. Is this person being thundered? Fang Han saw the wound and remembered that some people who had been struck by lightning in the countryside were also stinking. This dead body, dressed in a very gorgeous, dark gold clothes, water drops on it, like the lotus leaf skin is generally dripping down, not contaminated a little, and touched in the hand is very soft, smooth, square. Cold in the square. I have seen a lot of people in my family, but the fabrics like this have never been seen before. What to do? Is it a newspaper officer, or what? A person's life is not the same. Fang Hanzheng is preparing to drop the body to report to the official, but in a blink of an eye, he hesitated. The clothes worn by this person are a big man. How will you die here? If you are involved with him, after the newspaper officer, trace it down. I am afraid that it will be troublesome, but it is better to bury him, to be buried in the peace, as nothing has happened. More than one thing is less. Quote. After thinking about it, Fang Han dragged the body and prepared to find a place to bury it. Dang dang. At this moment, the body of the body, a gold-like gold, iron-like non-iron box fell out. The size of the box is slap, it seems to be a downfall, very heavy. At the same time, there is a picture of the ancient scroll that has fallen. Okay. Fang Han picked up the gold iron box and unfolded the scroll picture. He found the background above, dark and dark, faintly crouching with a shadow of a dragon, as if this was not a painting, but a window that leads to an unknown space. This picture is a treasure. The water is soaked, the ordinary paper, soaked and rotted. Although Fang Han does not know calligraphy and painting, but according to common sense, it is also judged that this is a treasure. Later, he took the gold iron box and watched it in his hand. I saw it, and a small gold lock was locked. Curiosity made him pick up the stones by the river, knocking hard, and the gold lock was broken. This is real gold, 1 or 2 gold, 1 or 2 official silver. This golden lock is also full of 4 or 5. But this is the object of the dead, take or not take it. As the saying goes, the gentleman loves money, take it Dao. Fang Han pondered for a while. Hey, I am just a slave. What kind of gentleman is not a gentleman? What kind of identity? What kind of thing? The book is not in a word. Don't you do it, don't you manage it. Accept it. Fang Han grabbed the gold and went to his arms. After receiving the gold, hey, the box is open. This opened, the things inside were revealed. A thumb-sized gold-colored medicinal herb. Strangely, there are 9 holes in the medicinal herb. Among the 9 holes, the scent is slightly scented, and when the chill is heard, it feels refreshing. The whole body is light, and the fatigue of the whole body is swept away. What is especially magical is that the 9 cockroaches, like the 9 cockroaches of the people, contain airflow, and they keep breathing and breathing. It seems that there is a strange vitality. This medicinal medicine, compared to Fangji's best Ganoderma lucidum pill, Zushin pills must be wonderfully thousands of times. Fang Han saw those Fangjia children practicing martial arts, occasionally swallowing health pills. Those are the exquisite things that are tempered, but compared to the medicinal herbs that have 9 scorpions in front of them, they are simply incomparable. I also listened to those disciples who have said that there are some panacea in the rumors. They can dredge the bones, regulate the internal organs, clean up the blood, activate the spirit, and swallow a grain. This can save many years of hard work and improve the vitality. Could it be this kind of medicine? This kind of medicine, I smell a little smell, I feel refreshed. Fang Han pinched this Ju Jin Jin Dan as if holding a diamond drill, think about whether it is swallowed. However, after thinking for a long time, he did not swallow, and the medicine could not be eaten. Those disciples who take health care every day are on time, quantitative, discretionary and discretionary. Fang Han is not a fool. Of course, knowing that even if it is a panacea, it will be damaged if it is taken improperly. This adult, your body has been picked up by me. I want to bury you and get into the earth. These 2 things are the rewards for me. We don't owe each other. Fang Han put Jui Jinden back into the box and confronted the dead body. While talking, he dragged the body with his hands and feet. Where did you know the corpse? The corpse actually slammed up and sat up. The mysterious secrets, it is really different. The feather door is one of the top 10 sects of the world. Fang Qingshe, you are not an outstanding disciple, it seems that the world is more a strong person. Just see if you can find the longevity secret with the magical way. The mysterious mystery, after 100 years, is also dying. After entering the longevity secret, it is the real detachment. Cheats. No, rumors, zombies can't talk, this is a bright day, zombies will not come out. Where did you know that the body actually sat up and spoke to himself? Fang Han was shocked. Not the same small. Have you saved me? The corpse heard the movement, turned over, and saw Fang Han, his eyes sinking and asked, November LBJNN. It turns out that you are still alive. Fang Han set the mind and calmed the road. I don't think you are calm like this. Look at your dress and dress up. It's a slave. Generally, after you find me, you will go to the newspaper. You know, if you report me, you can get $1,000. It is cold and the tone is erratic. It seems to be watching the reaction of Fang Han. If it is slightly wrong, set a poisonous hand. It's not as good as one thing. It's not a good thing to get a silver medal. It's not a good thing to be remembered. I got 2 treasures on you, and it's a king. But since you are still alive, these 2 treasures it will be returned to you. Fang Han took the Jui Jindan, which was taken up by Huang Quantu. He was a slave in Fangfu. The most important thing was to observe the words, otherwise he would offend the master. He didn't know how to die. This person in front of him is obviously a strange person, and he is afraid that he can take his own life. It's the king who is sulking and making a fortune. This sentence is very good. I feel the same in Bai Hai Zhen. Which is the slave in the house? Bai Hai Chan remembered that he got Jui Jindan. Zhao Fu Wangquan was chased after being leaked by occasional news. Longyuan province, the slave of the Fang family. Fang Han licked his lips. The slave of the Fang family. Bai Haizen's face sank, then eased over and looked at the ground around him. I must be a person who is not willing to be a slave. So here, secretly practice martial arts, you ground. The footprints on the square are the method of refining the Fang family. You can steal school, a slave, stealing martial arts, and making taboos. Presumably you are also a restless person. This person is so powerful, just look at it and you know so much. Fang Han felt that he was all over the body, and under the eyes of Bai Hai Zhen, there was no secret. The restlessness is good, the restlessness is good, the slaves of Fangjia. Fang Qingshe of the mysterious mystery. On the face of Bai Hai Zhen, there was a sneer. His face is a bit stunned, this sneer, extraordinarily embarrassing, like a ghost. You are a slave, no money, no power, and you want to practice martial arts. It is impossible. Exercise the flesh, get out of the sea like silver flowers, and regulate your body. But if you meet me, it is your luck. I give you have a chance to make a difference, as long as you promise me to do a few things. Bai Hai Chan calmly voices. How do you give me a chance? Fang Han police asked. This Ju Jin Jin Dan has incredible ability to help you reborn, sweep away your weakness and give you a solid foundation that no one can compare. I will teach you superior martial arts. You will definitely advance by leaps and bounds. As for whether you can step into the mystery of the magical powers, then look at your own chances. Bai Hai Zhen body sat up for a while. Shintong secret, you can help me cultivate to the mysterious secret. Fang Han shocked. You also know the mysterious secrets? It seems that you have stolen a lot of things. Bai Hai Chan once again looked at each other. It's just a matter of stealing. I also know that the 10th realm of the flesh is a change of the gods. The physical body is cultivated to the extreme, and the brain has the support of a powerful body, and it will produce mana, and by virtue of mana, it will be made into various magical powers. Fang Han rehearsed what he heard in the hand of the giant spirit, 150. Yes, the human body, the brain is the most mysterious organ. Any martial arts practice cannot cultivate the brain. This is the source of magical power. Bai Hai Zhen said. I want you to do something, there is nothing else, first worship. I am a teacher, and then after you have cultivated, the first is to find opportunities to join the Yuha Gate in Fangjia, you must learn the Yuhuafei Shengjing, and the second is to kill Fang Qingshe. Yuhuaman, Miss Fangjia, Fang Qingshe. Fang Han was shocked again. He knew that Fang's ancestors were legendary. A disciple of Yuhuaman's immortality, who was separated from Tezu 100 years ago, wiped the world. Fang Fangda, Fang Qingshe, has been studying in Yuhuaman, and she is practicing the fairy. But it seems that joining the Yuha Gate does not seem to be a leader. The princes will be like each other. I would rather have a kind of seed. If I am a leader, I can take charge of the world, and also flatten the world and become the emperor. Fang Hanma is courageous, and his mouth spits out a language that is incomprehensible. He knows that in the face of Bai Haichen and other strange people, the more the words are not surprisingly endless, the more they can get the appreciation of the other party. You see this kind of insight? In the end, it is still Immortal One. Where did you know that Bai Haichen heard this from his words? But he sneered. The real excuse is the longevity secret after the cultivation of the mysterious mystery, the 10 sects of the fairy tales. The Master of Teaching, Master 1, Wei Zhenyu. Wan Gukao. Bai Hai Zhen seems to see through the thoughts of Fang Hengxin. away from the dynasty. Although the territory is vast, the population is hundreds of millions, in fact, in the eyes of the 10 gates of the fairy road, but it is a plaything. Just like the magic road, there is no magic emperor. If the congenital emperor is worried, he will be dissatisfied with the great dynasty. He can always destroy the whole dynasty 100 times. The disciples of the congenital emperor mastered the Moon dynasty. Dynasty, the beginning of the dynasty, and so on. Dozens of dynasties, which one of the dynasties land, are not under the dynasty. There are so many dynasties in the world. Congenital emperor, what is it? Actually dare to call the emperor. Fang Hanru was shocked at the end. He is a slave in Fangjia, and his vision is not bad, but he also knows that under the heavens, it is the king of the earth. He thinks that the whole world is far from the dynasty, but he does not know that there are so many dynasties in the world. Country. How big is the whole world? The world is big, the sky is big, and the void is big. How big is the heart, how big the world is. I have to help you open your eyes. The congenital emperor is the emperor of the magic road, and the top 10 gates of the fairy road Wanshawanian. The emperor of the dynasty, known as Long Live, in fact, he can live long live, and the congenital emperor can live a long live. The 10 great school of Shandao, which disciple who cultivated to the mysterious secrets came to the great dynasty. The princes and nobles have to be regarded as the guest, and they are afraid of hospitality. This time, Fang Qingshe practiced in the mysterious secrets, and I was afraid that he would soon be a princess by the great dynasty, and he would die. I got this crouching Huangquan. It is also a magic weapon left by Huangquan Mountain after the Emperor Huangquan Emperor became immortal. The power of Bai Hai Zhen looked at Fang Han's eyes, as if looking at a fool. If you step into the magical mystery, you can really touch it. These things have also stepped into the world of immortality. If you don't step into the mysterious world, you will mix in the dynasty for a lifetime, be a locust, but unfortunately, I have hope. Into the mysterious secrets, but it is a loss. Well, these are the things that open your eyes to you. You really have to touch these things, then you have to rely on the Fang family, enter the feather door and say, well, you are now apprentice. There is not much time left. Chapter 5, Reborn. Chapter 5 Reborn. There is not much time. Fang Hanzheng is listening to all directions, and the outside world is so wonderful. Yes, I am in the middle of Fang Qingshe, a purple electric yin knife. The whole body is cut off, and can only live for a little while. This purple electric yin knife is one of the 8 supernatural powers of the feather door, using its own mana, collecting each thunder and lightning are really 5 elements, and they are extremely lethal. Bai Haichen gasped for a sigh of relief. It's just the power of Ju Jin Jin Dan, which made me wake up. Ju Jin Jin Dan, can you recover your injury? Fang Han turned his eyes. Jui Jindan is the first drug in the world. If I take this medicine before I am injured, I will step into the magical mystery, but now I can't. Bai Hai Chan shook his head. The master is on, please accept the worship of the disciples. Fang Han did not hesitate to worship. This is a great opportunity for himself, not to worship. After seeing Fang Han's 3 heads in a row, Bai Hai Zhen nodded. From now on, you are a child of our group of stars. The star gate is the 10 gates of the fairy road alongside the feather door. It is also one of the disciples. This time the teacher was in Wangquanshan. Jui Jindan and the crouching Wangquan map, going back to the martial art, will become true disciples. It turned out to be the case. Why didn't I take it after I got Ju Jin Jin Dan? It turned out that it was more dedicated to the martial art. It seems that I will swallow it in the future. Don't think about how to do it in the future. The benefits to the inside of your stomach are the benefits. Fang Han thought. Since the master is a disciple of the group of stars, why don't you ask me to send this golden Dan, Baodu to the star gate? Fang Han asked. Go to the star gate, Wanliden, not in the territory of the country. Can you get there? Not to mention, we have many disciples, everyone wants to get the identity of a true disciple. You are afraid that once you go, things will be robbed. White Sea Zen Road. So, I will let you approach Fang Qingshe and let you enter the Feathering Gate. Then survive in the Feathers Gate. The strength is strong, and then the truth of the Yuhuaman is stolen and presented to us. With great merits, when I am in charge of the church and my credit, I will say that it is not necessary to return me to life. You will also contribute to the world. I am at Fangjia, but it is a small slave who raises a horse. It is impossible to get the appreciation of Missy. Fang Han could not help but lick his lips. Jui Jindan can change your body's physique, let your body's chi and blood undergo earth-shaking changes, bone marrow refining, making you a good talent. Others can't see it. Feng Qingshe has put the magical practice when you reach the triple element, you can definitely see that your roots are different. Bai Hai Chan seems to have thought of a completely appropriate idea. Shintong triple, Yuan Dijing. What is that? Fang Han caught some traces of cultivation. The flesh has a 10-fold realm. After entering the mysterious secrets, there are also 10 realms. Finally, the magical powers to the 10 extremes can reverse life and death. Step into the longevity secret, the millennium is not bad, change at will, blood is born again. This time, it is truly the overlord in the universe, the god between heaven and earth. Only one of the 10 martial arts, and the demon emperor, and some unborn characters, and we are not a level. They are ants, and they are Dapeng who is proud of the sky. The 10 realm of the mysterious mystery, I can't elaborate for you. In short, the most important thing for you now is to do what I say. Between Bai Haichan's speech, the breath is getting thicker and thicker. It seems that he has consumed a lot of physical strength and he feels that he is not going to work. He suddenly shot. Brush. Fang Han only felt the long nails of the other party, the color of black and blue, such as a knife like a blade, sharp and incomparable, even tearing the clothes of his heart directly. Then the nails went deep into their flesh and bleed. Oops, not a good person, he wants to dig my heart. Fang Han only felt severe pain in his chest, and the whole heart seemed to be pulled out. Hey! At this moment, Bai Haichan picked up the Ju Jin Jin Dan. Unfortunately, my body has been burnt, the blood is not circulating, this Jindan, cheaper you. Between the talks, he pressed Ju Jin Jin Dan. Actually, I put this golden dragon out of the mouth of Fang Hengsen's mouth and pressed it in, and it was stitched in the flesh and blood. The use of Jui Jindan is not swallowing or external application. Even if it is swallowed, it will not be digested, and it will be pulled out. Bai Hai Zhen said, the only way to use it is from the heart. Open a hollow, sew it in, and then use the power of the heart's blood circulation to wash it. Its potency will continue to be integrated into the blood, and finally the blood will be replaced again, thus cutting the hair, reborn. At that time, you cultivate any martial arts, it is 1,000 miles. It hurts. The skin of Fang Hengsen was poked by nails, and he did not want to give birth. However, afterwards, the hard work came, and the Ju Jin Jin Dan, once sewed into the flesh and blood of the heart, suddenly began to emanate, and the flesh that had been cut began to consolidate, the blood stopped, and only the last a faint red mark. Then, his body was extremely cool, and his lips were secretly secreted with sweet Jin Li, sputum, swallowed into the stomach, and the odor that kept flowing out from the pores of the body. Then he hurried to the river and pulled it once. It was all kind of black-smelling blood, and there was a layer of smelly sweat in the pores. He simply took a shower and suddenly he was refreshed and breathing. It is full of aroma. In particular, he felt that he had more heart. Every time he breathed, his heart twitched twice. Every time he jumped, his power seemed to increase by 1 point. The Ju Jin Jin Dan is like a more powerful heart, which helps the original heart to do blood circulation. When the body is good, he feels his own mind, and he is very clear-headed. Today's encounters are all integrated, and many whimsy emerges. It is like a fool suddenly opened up and became smart. Sure enough, the better the body, the clearer the mind. The strong body can nourish the mind and stimulate the magical power. Fang Han once again verified the martial arts theory he had stolen. Don't be too happy, you are just making up for your lack of physical strength. Bai Hai Chan coldly said. To practice the flesh to the peak, you have to come slowly. But go faster than others. From now on, you can exercise vigorously, have enough nutrition to keep up, sit down. I will teach you my martial arts, kickboxing boxing. And this won some stories of Fu Wangquan's map. Fang Han also sat quietly, listening to Bai Haichan's explanation. Getting better. However, the voice of Bai Hai Zhen is getting weaker and weaker. When it comes to the end, the various boxing methods of my group of stars are based on the trajectories of the stars in the sky, creating various kinds of boxing methods, communicating the world with the flesh, solidifying the Pei Yuan, reaching the mysterious secret. You must always remember this, pay more attention to the trajectory of the stars. Suddenly, his body is stiff again. Remember, be sure to go to the feather door and steal the Yu Huafei Shengjing. Dedicated to the head. At that time, you and I have great benefits, and have my body in the soil, bury it quietly, don't cremate, keep the whole body. In the future, if you have a lot of credit, you can ask for a condition to be taught. For the teacher to be born again. If the body of the teacher is damaged, you can't be born again. Remember to remember. After that, Bai Haichen's body suddenly became a hard one. The breath was completely cut off, and it was so dead. November LBJNN. Chapter 6. Rapid Advance. Chapter 6 is leaping forward. Master, Master. Seeing Bai Haichan fell to the ground, Fang Han called out a few times, and there was no sound. He did not expect the temporary master to die quickly, to go fast. Although the two met together less than an hour, but after all, Bai Haichan taught himself a lot of things, but also opened up his own vision, so that they know that between heaven and earth, it is so wonderful. Long live the supreme power of one's own heart, one kingdom and one emperor, one generation and one generation, hundreds of millions of people, are just playthings in the hands of the Shandaoman. Because I let myself understand the truth between heaven and earth, so for the master who is less than an hour, Fang Han's heart still has some feelings. However, what Bai Haichan wants to do on his own is very difficult. Going to steal the feathers of the Yu Huafei Shengjing, dedicated to the group of stars to teach, in exchange for great merits, and then let the stars to teach him to resurrect him. The teachings of the 10 commandments of the Taoist temple, the Mega Shenzhen, and the reversal of the Chengken, all have the ability to destroy the country and destroy the dynasty. The millennium is immortal, the power is infinite, and it is easy to steal their things. A small true disciple can beat himself to death. No matter what, first bury the master, so that it will not be discovered by the Fang family, or it will be implicated in me. I will die. I have just trained in the realm of the 10 gods and become masters. I am reinforced and buried. Will rot, don't worry about corpse damage. Fang Han hid the body of Bai Haizhen, and then searched for the hoe, secretly dug a big hole in the river and buried it. The dark golden robes of Bai Haichen's body are a treasured piece of golden silk. The guns are inaccessible, and the fire and water are not invaded, just completely wrapping his body and not being attacked. After doing all this, Fang Han was relieved. He is a small slave in the Fang family. Although his status is low, he feeds the horse a little bit at night. There are still some space-time to rest during the day. As long as it is not like the second lady, Qing Wei's temporary use of horses, there is nothing to delay. After the busy work, the 3 days in the sky, it is already noon. In just one morning, Fang Han's understanding of the world and his own body have undergone earth-shaking changes. If he did not feel the constant flow of heat in his heart, there is also the pair of crouching Huang Quan. The picture shows his own adventures, he thought it was just a dream of his own. The crouching of Huang Quan is a legacy of the demon emperor Huang Quan, an extraordinary magic weapon. But now Fang Han will not use it, even Bai Haichan does not know the mystery of it, and can only be collected for the time being. In the dead of night, quiet and silent. A piece of 30 pounds of cyan stone was lifted up by Fang Han, and then he kept squatting. After squatting to the limit, he violently jumped, like a frog. This is a kind of training method for Fangjia. Golden diving can greatly exercise the body's strength, but it consumes a lot of physical strength. It is easy to sprain the bones, causing disability, not a well-preserved person. I can't practice this way at all. Fang Han did not dare to practice this kind of power rashly, but after the reincarnation, Jui Jindan was constantly washed by the blood in the heart, and did not fear any strong training. The Jui Jindan was collected in the heart of the mouth. As soon as he exercised, he felt the combination of the medicine and the body's heat. The whole body seemed to be in the warm water, and the nose were all fragrant, which made the pain disappear. Look, 2, 3, 4. Fang Han kept jumping. When he felt exhausted, the Ju Jin Jin Dan at the heart of his mouth gave birth to a heat that nourished every inch of the body. After jumping hundreds of times, Fang Han bit his teeth, never stop, and began to hit the hard stone with his fist. Hey! Fang Han's fist kept squatting on a piece of rock, punching and punching, fierce and violent, like a mad cow, flesh and blood, the bones creaking, seems to be broken. The intense pain, the pain of the heart, made him faint, but he gnawed his teeth. After the blood on his hands was blurred, he flew up and down his legs and kicked. Hey! The legs are kicked on the stone, all of them are swollen, black and green, and the skin is open. Then use the body to hit, all parts of the body, back, arms, waist, abdomen, chest, neck, collision hard stone. Hit the body in bruises. Oh, after these trainings were completed, Fang Han ignored his own physical injuries and jumped into the dark river. He kept swimming and wrestled in the middle of the whirlpool. Use all methods and high-intensity training to destroy your body. This is definitely a devil-like exercise. Even the disciples of the ginseng, bird's nest, and velvet antlers of the Fang family must be trained like this devil, and they can't afford it. More importantly, the will is too much to eat. Whoever eats the pain of living every day? But Fang Han's hard-growing teeth persisted. His hard mouth, the 9 miles of golden Dan, provides a steady stream of blood. No matter how much he suffered during training, suffered a broken bone, and after sleeping, he immediately recovered. He knows that the heavier his injury, the more he can stimulate the power of Ju Jin Jin Dan. As the intensity of his training is getting bigger and bigger, one day, the 9 golden dragons in the heart of the heart will all melt, and by that time his body will be really strong to an incredible degree. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Fang Han spends most of his time every night, using devil-style high-intensity training to destroy his body, thus stimulating his vitality and inspiring the power of Ju Jin Jin Dan. Gradually, his body became stronger and stronger. It turned out that some thin muscles were full, and the pieces of muscles were tight and strong, and the limbs were flexible and powerful. On the surface, however, he is stronger than before, but he knows that the muscles and bones are much tighter, and the weight is increased by 2 or 30 pounds. 10 days later, Fang Han practiced the golden dragonfly diving, and he gradually could carry 50 pounds, or even 80 pounds of big stones, to jump around. The second most important form of physical training is the foundation of the whole cultivation, but the most important part directly affects the achievements of practicing martial arts. The more refined the strength is, the greater the future achievements will be. 100 pounds. A month later, Fang Han was carrying 100 pounds of big stones. The whole person relaxed and learned the frog jumping. The distance was 4 or 5 steps away. Asthma. He left a deep circle of footprints on the beach. Hi, N-O, vel, B, in .c, ohm. Later, he took this piece of stone and smashed it up, and lost 2 or 3 people. When he whispered down, he put his hands in one fell swoop and squeaked his whole body. He actually took the stone hard, live. Broken. A low scream, Fang Han held 100 pounds of stone in one hand, and another hand smashed a fist and squatted on a small tree with a thick bole. The small tree suddenly broke wood and was cracked by life. Boom. 100 pounds of big stone was thrown away. Fang Han stood on the spot, and the body stood upright, but it was faintly showing a certain momentum, no longer the kind of low-serving slave. At this moment, he finally completed the strength training, the whole body, limbs, waist and abdomen, every inch of the place, all exercised. I have reached the limit of the realm of training. That is to say, I have entered the realm of the third reenactment of the physical body, and I can practice the tricks of the Songhai Wansho boxing, as well as the various exercises of the 7 stars. It's a move, and my physical quality is twice as strong as that of my core disciples. My strength is much greater than them. The practice moves are definitely more powerful than them. Fang Han pinched his fist, and the bones screamed, and the voice was full of confidence. The core disciples of the Fang family who also completed the strength training are not comparable to the current Fang Han. Because they eat different things, they eat ginseng bird's nest, and Fang Han eats Ju Jin Jin Dan. The same is more than the arm force. Fang Han can lift 100 pounds of stone with one hand and make various actions, and the core children of those Fangjia can't. Next, I practiced various moves and connected the forces of the whole body. I don't know how fierce it will be. Fang Han is now all over the body, and the muscles of various parts are like a group of tiger wolves that have not yet united. After the cultivation of the moves, these tiger wolves have become a singular, end-to-end elite, which is even more fierce. Looking at the stars in the sky, Fang Han sat down with his knees and looked at it. He observed the trajectory of the astral movement and understood the various moves of Bai Xing boxing that Bai Haichen said. His physical practice, leaps and bounds, Jui Jindan in the heart, was slowly washed by the blood, inspired a more powerful force. At the same time, covering an area of 1,000 acres, the luxury of the Fangjia in the house, like a dragon palace dragon girl, the moon and the fairy, with the purple electric yin knife, to kill Bai Hai Zhen Fang Jada, Fang Qingshe is sitting quietly, he is surrounded by a middle-aged man with awesomeness, a pair of eyes, and a wide shoulder. This middle-aged man is the owner of the Fang family. The current governor of Longyuan province, Fang Zitao, is also the father of Fang Qingshe. The flesh is cultivated to the realm of the 10 spirits. But at his age, not a young man, the flesh begins to slowly age, and will only become more and more degraded in the future. Unless you get any unexplained medicine, you will only retreat and will not progress. At this time, in front of Fang Qingshe, there is not much father's majesty. After all, his daughter is the peerless powerhouse of the mysterious secret. Father, I have become a true disciple of Yuhuaman. I have taught me to give me a mountain peak in Yuhuan. I have to bring a group of loyal slaves to clean the palace, burn the fire, see the flowers, and feed. Spirit Beast, Fang Qingshe. Qingshe, have you really become a true disciple of Yuhuaman? Great, great, this is the status of our family, even if it is the emperor, you have to try to win over you. There is nothing to do with a loyal slave. You just pick it up. Fang Zitao surprised that he knows what the true disciple is. The ancestors of the Fang family were not true disciples of Yuhuaman, but only a foreign disciple. And, the elders in the martial art, because I became a true disciple, so I gave a few foreign disciples, this is also a rare opportunity, I will choose the core disciples of several families in the past. Fang Qingshe. The number of foreign disciples. Fang Zitao took a sigh of relief. Governor, Missy, the imperial court of the Grand Miss is the imperial decree of the princess. It is at the door. At this time, suddenly there was a voice. Know it, let the sacred await, I have something now. Fang Qingshe waved his hand. Chapter 7, Rigid and Soft. Chapter 7 is just soft. Let the sacred awaiting for a while, this is not good, is it? Fang Zitao hesitated to see his daughter Fang Qingshui's attitude toward the sacred purpose. Nothing. Fang Qingshui Yurong does not change, I don't want to touch more things in the mundane mortal. And I am instincted by nature, do not like the excitement, and hand over the matter of the sacred decree to the home. I will stay at home clean for a few days, see what can be made in the family disciples, and give pointers to one or two. Fathers, you should not be too intoxicated, and many more, you may have the opportunity to break through the mysterious secrets. Yeah, Fang Zishan nodded. The original decree arrived, and you are a princess. We have to have a good time. But if you don't like it, then you can handle it locally. Also, your feathered mountain. What slaves do you want to do in the palace? Fathers help you arrange some reliable and loyal. Okay, Fang Qingshe closed his eyes slightly. This month, I have not found the shadow of Bai Hai Zhen. Did he take Jui Jindan under the heavy injury, and the wound healed? Run away. The arrogant woman of the day, the singer of the 10,000 gates of the immortal road of Megatron, was caught in contemplation. At the time of her meditation, on her head, there was a faint display of many purple-colored wires, and the airflow seemed to condense into cranes, dragon snakes, running horses, etc., and so on. It is an extremely powerful realm in the mystery of magical powers. Almost a little, you can break through the dilemma of the three realms of the supernatural world, break through to the four yin and yang, and sigh your own mana, and practice yin and yang, and have spirituality. This is a realm of difference. It is only spiritual and spiritual. Only then can I reach the 5-story, heaven and earth. With my own magical powers, I can communicate with the world and the various arrays, and the power is endless. Now among the sects, several elders are also heavenly. Unfortunately, this is the place. Secondly, I got the crouching of Wangquan, which can be refining and refining. With the power of this ***** figure, I stepped through the magical 5-day world, and even traced it back, condensed the magical seed, turned into a magical law, but unfortunately fell short. Checking his own mana, the realm of magical power, Fang Qingshe showed a very brilliant realm, the understanding of the fairy. Foot 7 stars. It was another night, when the cold star was shining. Fang Han was on the riverside, watching the trajectory of the stars running. The whole body was full of muscles and swells, such as the stars, the rivers rushing, and the 1 step, 7 steps, robbed away, Shua 7 steps, passing through, then bursting. N-O, vel, B, in .c, ohm. Quick star fight. 1 run, 1 kick, 1 blow. The leg smashed the air, sending out a heartbreaking sound that was far out of the way and extremely sharp. Boom. A hardwood tree with a thick mouth is kicked off. Ka-ka, 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 ka-ka. Then, Fang Han kicked out the 13 legs again, suddenly between the whole body, the legs and the eyes fluttering, like a sharp knife, squatting on the surrounding trees, those trees all are cut off. After breaking 14 trees in a row, the gas did not breathe and the face was not red. When the fist was closed, the mud under the feet was shoveled. The left hand drew a round circle, and the right hand drew a square square. Staying, rooting under the feet, such as a millennium-old pine tree, the roots of the plate into the rock, motionless, tenacious. Left hand draws a circle, the right hand draws a square, and it is soft and soft. I can't think of it for 3 days, I can train the skillfully and step into the realm of 4 rigid and soft. Ju Jin Jin Dan, I really laid a solid foundation for me. Foundation. It seems that I am not far from breaking the 5 powerful power. In the mouth of the heart, the power of Jui Jindan came from the heat. The aroma of the hot stream flowed through the body with the blood. Just because of the pain of kicking the trees off the legs, it was immediately turned back by the heat flow. Fang Han has laid a solid foundation in the 1-month devil-style training. Nowadays, after 3 days of practicing and cultivating, I will be very skillful at the beginning, and I will be able to train the 2 killings of the 7-star boxing, the 7-star, and the Kuixing kick. There are not many 7 stars moves in the group of stars, but the recruits contain the trajectory of the stars and the mystery of the physical structure. The footsteps of the 7 stars are the mysterious footwork, and the Kuixing kicks, it is the fierce leg method of kicking the enemy. Fang Han is trained one by one and arrives at the 4-fold realm. The core children of the Fang family, to reach the realm of rigid and soft, at least 3 or 5 years, hard training day and night, this is still fast. However, Fang Han arrived in such a realm in just 3 months. Feeling that I am stronger every day, Fang Hengsen is satisfied with the black and rest. I just slept for an hour, 3 more hours, and suddenly I felt that the outside began to stir up, and then my door was squeaky. He quickly climbed up and climbed up. He opened the door and found that it was the head of the racecourse. General Manager, what? How to call me more quick and fast? The chief manager of the racecourse said anxiously. This morning, Miss Tu is going to go out, you take the snow, and the second lady goes out. Going out, where are you going? Fang Hanyi. Ask all the things that are done, the master's things, let's just be a slave, just listen to the instructions. Do you want to slap the second lady's whip? The general manager reprimanded while hurriedly heading for the distance. Fang Han did not dare to neglect an the door. Although he got the adventure, but after all, it was still shallow and there was no strength to be a slave. What's more, he relies on the power of the Fang family to enter the Yuha Gate. The legendary 10 Commandments, the immortal residence, is also very curious in his heart. I ran to the stables and took the snow from the snow. Then Fang Han came to the square in the main gate of Fangjiafu. Fangjia is the first family of Longyuan, and the square in front of the palace is stunned. There are dozens of stone lions, tigers, dragonflies and unicorns placed there to guard the portal. People stand in the square, very small, and the fear of fear is born. At this time, there were a lot of slaves and escorts on the square. One of the carriages was loaded with gold and silver jewels, many body armor, hard-wearing warriors, and slaves. These people, the stars are holding the moon in general, and there are several main characters from the door coming out of the door. Fang Han's eyes saw one of the women wearing white clothes, ice and jade, not like immortal. Among them, when the woman came out, all the people were eclipsed, and the heavens and the earth seemed to become a fairyland, swaying everywhere. A stalk of dust. All the people have disappeared. Only this woman, the temperament of this woman, is deeply imprinted in the minds of people. As the fairy in the middle of the month, or the Dragon Palace Dragon Girl. Fang Hengsen was amazed. He knew that this was Fang Qingda's Fang Qingshe, and at the same time, he was a true disciple of Yuhuaman. He was a master of the magical powers and killed the master of Bai Hai Zhen. Originally, he thought that the Fang Jada, who was able to kill Bai Hai Zhen, must be arrogant, temperamental, arrogant, and unsightly, but did not expect that it was such a dust, light, such as a cloud of smoke. From the point of view of the temperament of appearance, this side of Qing Shui is not a master of the fierce, but the fascinating beauty of the world, like the fairy in the poem. People who have cultivated into the mysterious mystery have a temperament. Bai Hai Zhen master is very good. Fang Han looked at it and thought of Bai Haichen's words, and quickly lowered his head. However, Fang Qingshe seemed to feel what it was like. A pair of fairy eyes looked over here, and the wave of light swept away Fang Han far away. Qing Wei, the slave who is holding 1,000 miles of snow, what is the name? Fang Qingshe swept over Fang Han, and regained his gaze, and asked the second lady Fang Qingwei. Only one look, Fang Han caused the attention of Fang Qingshe. Is a blessing or a curse? Chapter 8. Divine Power. Chapter 8 Divine Power. This is a slave to raise my horse. It is called Fang Han. It is reliable to do things. I have never deducted any horse food. But the last time I stopped hunting, I rewarded him with 10 whip and then rewarded 5 silver. Inadvertently. Is it? Fang Qingshe pondered for a while, and no one knew what the arrogant woman was thinking. This time I will take you to the feathered mountain. Although it is a fairyland in the mountains, there is no big city convenient, and some slaves are taken care of. It is inevitable that since the party is reliable, let him take it. Raise the horse well, and then raise the beast. Well, let's go. Under one order, hundreds of servants of the Fang family, dozens of two-horse-drawn carriages rushed to start. Sure enough, Master Bai Haichen said it well. As long as I am in the crowd, Miss Fangqing can see my unusual things at a glance, but if she finds that I have taken Jui Jindan, I am afraid that I will die immediately. Can you hide it? Although Fang Han did not hear the dialogue between Missy Fang Qingshe and Fang Qingwei, she knew that Fang Qingshe had noticed herself. While holding the snow, while walking along with the team, Fang Hengsen constantly thought about it. It was another night. Fang's team came to a county town on the edge of Longyuan province, and hundreds of people rested for the future. In the middle of the night, Fang Han grinds the soy milk, feeds the horse after boiling, feeds the eggs, meat powder, and makes the thousands of miles full of food. Only after waiting for Ma's rest, sneak out and touch it, reaching the place where no one is in the wilderness, pulling the posture, the practice of punching one by one. This time, he did not practice 7 stars boxing, but the Songhai Wansho boxing that he learned. The crane claws reflect the sand. Ice crane shomei, Shan shake, hubby dance sky, Songhai yanyan. Take these 5 moves, one move, and move like a crane, as quiet as a pine. Songhai Wansho boxing, like kickboxing boxing, is an extremely sophisticated refining movement, but the kickboxing boxing is overbearing, and you can see the 2 strokes of foot 7 stars, and queen star fighting. Usually only the emperor, when the real dragon is born, there are 7 stars at the foot. The Songhai Wansho boxing is quiet and natural, imitating the longevity of Songhai. Feathering the door, the style of the 2 sects of the group of stars, from this point can be seen, Fang Han heart in the fine comparison. He has been strong since he had a 9-inch golden dragon in his mouth. The mind is also extraordinarily intelligent, developed wisdom, responsive, flexible thinking, and learning martial arts, but also complement each other. Over and over again, Songhai Wansho boxing, my heart is thinking of 7 stars boxing. Between the 2, Fang Han feels that the 2 kinds of boxing methods are one inside and one outside. The style is like water and fire, the whole body is fleshy, and the hair is constantly flowing. The blood flow in the hard mouth, urging the Ju Jin Jin Dan, dripping the spin, powerful force, and transporting it to the whole body again. Bang! The overbearing style of kickboxing boxing and the style of Songhai Wansho boxing are forcibly integrated by Jui Jindan. For a moment, the blood was in the body and it was cycled 9 times. The beating of the heart, slow down, is twice as slow as before. But more powerful, it is like a hammer, solid and powerful. I actually stepped into the 5-fold, the realm of divine power. Fang Han knows that his body changes, which means that he has stepped into a new realm, the realm of the 5-fold power of the flesh. The most typical representative is that the heart beats slowly, and the vitality is strong and powerful. Okay, before I had time to feel the benefits of the realm of divine power, Fang Han suddenly felt that his chest was moving, and that Ju Jin Jin Dan, when his body changed, suddenly drilled inward, drilled into the center of the heart, stayed, more secret. In the past, Jui Jindan was stitched to the chest, but now, with the sudden slowness of the heart, it was sucked into the depths of the heart by the pressure of blood. In this way, it is even less likely to be discovered. Tiger claws printed sand. Suddenly, a claw grabbed toward a big tree. Fang Hanwu fingers like a crane claw, even the tree bark of the big tree, a large piece of trees fell on the trunk. If this claw catches the human body, it will definitely bring a large piece of flesh. Power, grow again. Fang Han constantly exerts the power of his own body, free to dodge, jump, run, a step, advance more than 10 feet, the body pulls again, shrinks back, the whole body up and down, free to run, but fierce and fierce, very fast such as the tiger cheetah. In fact, the flesh has been trained to the realm of divine power, such as galloping horses, spirits such as apes, claws like tigers and leopards, humanoid weapons, and some core disciples of Fangjia have not practiced this realm. Songhai Wansho boxing, well practiced, you have been stealing school for a long time. Just then, a sudden voice came from behind Fang Han. Sure enough, Fang Han's heart was shocked. Although it was expected that this happened, but things happened, and they still felt awkward. Turning around, behind the moon, not far behind, is standing in a white, beautiful woman, it is Fang Qingshe. Ah, Missy. Fang Han immediately showed a slap in the face, like a thief who stole something, was arrested on the spot, and wanted to run immediately but hesitated. This is the reaction in his mind, how many times he has practiced, and now it is displayed, and the acting is vivid. I took a few breaths and licked it. Fang Han's knees sank, and Fang Fengqing's snow fell. I cried, "Missy, I am forgiving, Missy is forgiving. The slaves are occasionally stolen. I can't help but practice, and Missy forgives her. This is not bad." Fang Qingshe saw Fang Han's reaction, his eyes slightly moving, and said indifferently, "You still know that you are afraid of sin. If you run immediately, you will end up with the stone in the distance." Between the words, Fang Qingshui's fingers picked and slammed, and a purple bright lightning knife flickered past. 1,000 steps away, a piece of stone with a height of one person was immediately cut into two halves under the lightning knife. This is the purple electric yin knife of the feather door. Bai Hai Zen Master, he died under a supernatural power, and sure enough, it is unmatched. I felt the strong current in the air making my fur tremble, and Fang Han's heart was really stunned. He saw the power of the magical masters for the first time. If it is a person in the realm of the flesh, even if it is a master of the gods, facing the imperial court of the imperial court, it will also die. After all, the strength of the flesh is limited. However, the master of the magical mystery, practicing qi into months, control the electric control fire, all the cloth, flying and changing. The mortal is simply not allowed. He finally understood, the master of the magical mystery, why is it supernatural, and different from the mortal. He buried his head lower, seemingly scared, and muttered in his mouth, "Miss Day is forgiving. When will I be able to step into the mysterious secrets? I can even sit on the same level as Missy. Bai Hai Zen Master wants me to kill her, but how easy is it to kill her?" Fang Hengxin thought. "Get up." Fang Qingshui's light tone conveyed, "This beautiful woman, Supermaster. It seems that speaking forever is a tone of voice. There is no fluctuation of emotions. It seems that you have already practiced the joys, sorrows and sorrows. Some are just a kind of calm and light pursuit of longevity and fairy tales. A little pass." Upon hearing this sentence, Fang Han's heart was loose, but he did not get up, but continued to kneel on the ground, loyal and swearing. The slaves cast a big mistake and continue to succumb to redemption. Missy asks for training and punishment. This is loyal to the table. According to the truth, you can't cultivate into the realm of the physical body of the flesh. Have you ever had any panacea? Fang Qingshe seems to have been infected by Fang Han's loyalty, and his tone has eased. "Yeah, the slaves washed the horses in the Longyuan River 5 years ago." Suddenly, lightning flashed, a long-horned snake rolled out of the river and frightened the minions, but then the big snake was thundered. When I was dying, the slave was curious and took the big snake out of the river. I cooked it and ate it for many days. I also ate the snake's snake, which is strange. The snake's snake, red pass, hard like a stone. I cook it for an afternoon before cooking it. After that, the body of the minion is getting better and better, so I move the mind of stealing martial arts. The slave is guilty of death. Fang Han took another head. This set of words is not a mess, but Bai Haichen told him. Unicorn python. Fang Qingshe listened. 100 years ago, my ancestors killed a horned python in the Longyuan River. I couldn't think of it as a male and a female. The sparkle of her eyes slightly licked the cold heart below, and Fang Han felt the heart shrink, and the Ju Jin Jin dance seemed to stop working. Fortunately, Fang Qingshe didn't take a closer look. Fortunately, Fang Han had just reached the realm of divine power. The heart suddenly slowed down, and Jui Jindan was sucked into the deepest core. Fortunately, Fang Qingshe was distracted by Fang Han's reversal. Otherwise, in the words, the secret of Ju Jin Jin Dan, I am afraid that it will be discovered. The inner scorpion of the unicorn python is a natural elixir. After taking it, it is endless. You have been stealing for 5 years, and you can actually practice the realm of divine power. It is not bad. Fang Qingshe, there are many core disciples in our family. There is no chance for you. It seems that you are also a lucky person, but the inner scorpion of a horned python has raised you to the realm of divine power. It is already the limit. You will still to continue practicing, you must have a huge material foundation. You follow me to the feather of Shanshan and feed the beast for me. Between the words, Fang Qingshui's body floated and went away. N-O-V-E in.C Om. Finally passed. Fang Han confirmed that Fang Qingshe had left, only stood up and took a sigh of relief. The conversation just now was a moment of life and death. Chapter 9. Feathered Fairy Door. Chapter 9 Feathered Shanman N-O-V-E in.C Om. I can't think of it. Fang Feng couldn't think of it. Miss Fang Qingshe asked a few words and let himself go. But this is also some expectation. In my capacity, there is still the strength of the present, and Fang Qingshe does not have to ask himself to ask the West. Indeed, Fang Han is now no matter what his strength or identity is in front of Yu Huaman's true disciple. Even the princely, the sacred purpose, in the eyes of Fang Qingshe is worthless. Fang Qingshe does not have to go to the bottom. Of course, Fang Qingshe does not know that Fang Han has Zhui Jindan and Yu Fu Wangquan. Otherwise, it is difficult to escape. Relaxed in the mood, Fang Han went back to sleep. This feeling, sleep particularly stable, but also with hope. The hope in his heart is to see what the legendary 10 commandments are, and what the appearance of the feather gate is. In the days that followed, in addition to hurry, still hurry. Fang's huge fleet of people, constantly moving toward the east, through the Longyuan province, Wuling province, Huayang province, Taigu province, Zhuhu province and other major provinces, thousands of miles, 1 month later and finally came under a series of mountains. The front is the feathered fairy mountain, and the foundation of my feathering door. Fang Qingshe said. Fang Han is mixed among many slaves. At first glance, I saw infinity. Among the rolling mountains, there are peaks everywhere, straight like arrows, and some mountains are full of flowers. Many palaces. Countless thousands of waterfalls, pouring from the mountains, as if there are countless jade dragons. The sky is blue and blue, like blue crystal, there is never a cloud, the sun is shining, the soft and bright sun shines, and it is spotless. Above the hundreds of thousands of peaks, the pines are rooted and the branches and leaves are arrogant, showing the breath of the ancient times. Even in the deepest part of the mountain, the clouds are misty, and there is still a huge city of sky, floating like a mirage. People think that it is coming to the fairy world. Fang Han looked at it and was shocked by the scene of the heavenly palace. A shock from the heart, born spontaneously. Shandao, Immortal Road, this is the fairy road. Surely, the fairy tales are 10, which is much better than the emperor's door. I have a small wish, but I am only a prince in the dynasty to leave Beijing, holding the authority. But now it seems ridiculous that wish. Fang Han laughed at his own ignorance. Just before the man came to the feathered fairy mountain, the shouting of the cranes went straight into the sky, one after another. In the eyes of a surprised person, 7 or 8 white spots in the distance, like an arrow, shuttled over and began to be just the size of a fist. When it was above the sky of everyone, it turned out to be a single body bigger than a cow. Crane. These cranes are all abnormal, with bright red on the head, and the 2 wings are torn apart, and a storm is set up, especially the 2 claws of the crane, such as steel hooks, which can penetrate the gold and iron. What is even more amazing is that these cranes are sitting on the back of the young people wearing feathers. When the crane fell, the storm became more intense, and the wings flickered, and the wind was like an arrow. Not good. Fang Han had been holding 1,000 miles of snow. In front, at this time, the crane that was bigger than the cow was falling in the sky, and the snow was shocked. Send along cicada, do not rush to go out. Hi, Fang Hanfei rushed forward, his arm trembled, and he would hold 1,000 miles of snow. However, just below this, the cranes will also fall down. Seeing the cold and the thousands of snow horses, they will hit the crane. Hey, little mortal, come to Shanshan, still rampage, don't kill. A young Taoist on the crane saw this situation, his eyes crossed, and he took a shot on the head of the crane. Suddenly the huge cranes clawed down, grabbed the treasure of the 1,000 miles of snow. At the same time, another young Taoist on the crane had a long black golden whip in his hand, and rolled toward the square, seeming to roll him up. Fang Han quickly squashed, tumbling on the ground, and escaped the whip. However, the 1,000 miles of snow, but by the claws of the crane, caught a few holes on the horse back, fell to the ground and struggled with pain. Later, the 7 or 8 young people who rode the white cranes really flew down and landed on the ground. First, they swept their eyes and shot the people present. They looked proud and proud. They looked like mortals, especially their cranes. It is twice as high as a human being, and it is even more powerful. Why are you mortal people coming to Yuhuam and Shanshan? You, come over to me. Just a whip, the young Taoist who did not roll to Fang Han, his eyes were slightly cold, with a whip pointing to Fang Han. Are you a welcoming disciple under the Golden Master's brother? Did Jin brother teach you to welcome the guests? At this moment, Fang Qingshui's voice was conveyed from a carriage behind him. I heard Fang Qingshui's voice and watched her come out of the carriage. The 7 or 8 young people who were riding the crane changed their faces slightly, and then the tone became respectful. It turned out to be the newly promoted true disciple's sister, Fang Shiji. We are here to greet you, but the slaves you brought just now are rampaging and destroying the rules of Shanshan. Yeah, Fang Shiji, Jin Shishang specially confessed to us, let us greet you, specially teach, the sister brings some rules of the slaves Shanshan, after all, mortals come to Shanshan, pay great attention, do not violate any taboos. Another young and humane, a mortal person, it really is the fairy martial art. Fang Hengsen said. These 7 or 8 young Taoists are obviously not as good as Fang Qingshe, and they have not cultivated into the mysterious secrets. Otherwise, they will not ride the cranes, but they will fly directly with the mana volley and fly. But even so, his heart was once again shocked. How easy is it to ride a crane to heaven? However, Fang Han couldn't understand their highness and looked at themselves as if they were looking at the ants. Well, these 7 or 8 young Taoists, the momentum of the body and the giant hand are similar, perhaps the master of the 7 or 8 layers of the physical body, and strive to attack the mysterious secrets so that more than 10,000 people. Secretly watching the 7 or 8 young people who ride the crane, watching the momentum, Fang Han also guessed their cultivation. My people, when is it your turn to come to the lesson? Fang Qingshe brows gently wrinkled, do not know whether it is angry or because of trouble, it seems that Jin brother, I was promoted to a true disciple, very dissatisfied. Since Fang Shiji does not want us to welcome guests, then let's go, Fang Shiji himself takes people to Shanshan. We have fulfilled the obligation of welcoming guests. The young Taoist who just took the whip and pointed at Fang Han saw Fang Qingshui's face. If you are not good, immediately make a look to other people, you must fly across the crane. Slow. Fang Qingshe smiled coldly and spit out 2 words. You ride a crane like this, suddenly, scared my people, hurt my horse, just want to leave it. Why, Fang Shiji, let us not compensate for it. Everyone, just a horse. Several young people have also changed slightly. Whether it is a mortal or a mortal horse, it is our snow and snow. If you hurt, it will challenge me. If this is the case, there is nothing to say about Qing Shui, let's fill it out. Fang Qingshe stood up, his body slammed, suspended in the air, the whole body air flowed, the white clothes fluttered, and the whole body was 3 feet away, and the purple electric light was smashing. The heavens and the earth, the breath of all things, is conveyed from her body. At this moment, Fang Han felt that Fang Qingshe was like a sword with a sharp edge, standing upright, and piercing a hole every day. Pick one up, a knife and a sinister thunder, sweeping across the sky, swallowing the heavens and the earth, stirring the sun and the moon, a powerful current runs through the void, killing everything. Oh, on the spot, the young Taoist who took the whip and pointed to Fang Han was bombarded by the purple electric thunder, and made a scream of screaming, and the whole body burned on the spot. The crane under him felt dangerous, brushed it and swayed its wings. But Fang Qingshe still did not let go. Once again, it was a purple electric slashing knife and killing it. Falling from the sky. One person, one crane, was killed in an instant. Not good. Other disciples did not expect Fang Qingshe to dare to killing people in front of the feathered Shanshan, killing themselves, all felt extremely dangerous, and quickly rushed to the sea. Fang Qingshe, you dare to kill us, you are not afraid of the rules. Jin brother, there, how do you explain? How do you account for the elders of heavenly punishment? A young Taoist snarled. The true disciple is a deliberate disciple, and has the power to kill and kill. You offend my majesty. If I don't kill you, what is the majesty of the disciples? If you blame your golden brother, send you out and let me stand. Reborn in the next life, look a little brighter. Between Fang Qingshui's speech, the tone is still faint, and once again, it is said to be 7 times. 7 electric ons, such as a dragon like a snake, swept on the spot and once again killed the remaining 7 people and 7 cranes. Stop. At this moment, suddenly, in the distant mountains, a long shout, accompanied by a shadow, rushed. This by shadow is a young man with a full body, very handsome, with eyebrows like a sword, flying with arrogance, extremely fast, between the blink of an eye, flying in a few tens of miles, in the air, also a finger press, 7 roads of green fire. On the electric awning that hit the square clear snow, suddenly, 2 collided, disappeared invisible. Fang Shimei, there is something to discuss, why killer? This man, rescued the remaining 7 people, suspended in the air, Sensen Road. Golden stone platform, my Qing Shui is going to kill, can your B and 7 repairs be able to withstand it? Fang Qingshe did not stop, His hands were changed, the purple electricity gathered, thousands of changes, and again bombarded by air, while her feet were suspended in the air, stepping on the pace of mysterious, with lightning speed, again and again. Chi 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 chi. This man, called Jin Shitai, did not expect Fang Qingshe to be so powerful. Bian couldn't wait to block it, so that the purple electric knife would break through. Hey, 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 hey. 7 sounds, 7 young Taoist people even with cranes, all bombarded by current, bursting into a flame in the air, falling down, smoke bursts. All died. You. Jin Shite was furious. How, Jin Shite, although you are also a true disciple of my feathering door, but seeing your cultivation just now, but the refining of the fake comes true, the mana is transformed into the real Yuan, stepping into the magical duality of the real world. Fang Qingshe like water, the posture is leisurely. If you are dissatisfied with me, the feathering palace, on the platform, I am waiting for you. The mysterious secret is the first, the mana, and the mana is invisible. The second layer, the realm of repairing is to intangible mana, to refine the true form, so it is called the cultivation of the real world. The so-called self-cultivation, the refining of the false, and the real, this is what it means. Tianjintai. Jin Shite heard these 3 words, his face changed slightly. This is a true disciple, because of the deep hatred, the place where life and death. On the heavenly punishment, only one of the true disciples can survive. I can't think of Fang Qingshui's strength. Hey, this matter, I will report to the elders who are in charge of the rules. Jin Shite went away. Go, killing 8 people in 8 cranes, Fang Qingshe did not fluctuate, landed and returned to the carriage. What is called overbearing, what is called tyrannical? This is Pai Ni Tienda, everything is like a mustard. The true disciple of Yuhuaman is really different. This time, I finally saw the power of Fang Qingshe. Bai Hai Zen Master, I am afraid Miss is not so good to kill. Fang Han witnessed this scene, deeply shocked by the temperament of Fang Qingshe, thinking in his heart, and later killing the young lady in accordance with the meaning of Bai Hai Zen, I am afraid that there is no future. One day, I will have this tyrannical, arrogant world. Chapter 10. Little Man. Chapter 10. The Villain. A mountain with a height of 1,000 feet, there are pines and cypresses everywhere, waterfalls and springs, one palace after another, standing on the mountainside, between the mountains, on the top of the very high mountain, there is a blue sky next to the Tianqi, there is a more magnificent palace. Crane, iron wing dapeng, golden crown carving, white deer, white tiger, jade rabbit, peacock. These spirits and birds are walking around in the mountains. Numerous Ganoderma lucidum medicine fields, ginseng medicine fields, arranged in the mountains, producing tens of thousands of medicines. Purple Electric Palace. These 3 characters are engraved on the plaque at the foot of the mountain gate. This is an important mountain peak in Yuhuan Shanshan. It is a symbol of identity after Fang Qingshe became a true disciple. At this point, Fang Qingshe sat in the chair of the Purple Electric Palace and looked at the slaves of the hundreds of people below. The brow frowned slightly. This purple electric peak is my industry, but I am practicing it, waiting for it. Retreat, often a retreat, is a few months, or even half a year, there is no time to cure the family. You are so many slaves, I will choose a few reliable people to take care of. Fang Han, listen to Qing Wei said that you raise a good horse, with 250 people, responsible for raising the cranes, white tigers and other spirit beasts, this is the spirit beast card. You hold this card, blood on it, those spirit beasts will listen to you. Choose people. Between the words, a red light flew toward Fang Han. Fang Han grabbed it in his hand, but found it to be a slab-sized jade card with a variety of fly-sized animals carved around, as if the soul spirit of these animals was sealed on the jade card. Sure enough, I got the appreciation of Missy. From a slave who raised a horse, I became a general manager and directly managed 250 people. This position is rising. In the original Fangjia, Fang Han is unlikely to be changed from a small family to a general manager, because the family is very strict, and there are degrees of reward and punishment. And the relationship is intricate, and even if Fang Han has merit, it is impossible to climb to such a high position. However, the purple electric peak in Yuhuaman is different. Fang Qingshe practiced one heart at a time, and did not go to too many management family matters, directly appointing and promoting. What happened? He was a small inferior minion who actually climbed onto our heads. Impossible, impossible, how could Miss choose him as the general manager of the beast? Fang Qingshui's command came down, and the servants who were suddenly present were all talking. They all showed unbelievable expression on their faces. In particular, several of the incomparable servants, the eyes immediately appeared fierce, it seems to eat the square cold. These fine servants are all slaves who have a high status in the family, such as the general manager of rent collection. Every autumn, with thousands of people to rent in the countryside, the prestige is full of prestige, meat. These people followed Fang Qingxie to the feathers of Shanshan, and they all thought that they would benefit from the benefits and seek a fat deficiency. Feathering Shanshan, the benefits of Zidian Peak are much greater than the benefits of Fangjia. But now a big advantage has been taken away by Fang Han. I am afraid that the mind of killing is there. However, they did not dare to make trouble. In the Fangjia headquarters, they could find relationships everywhere and pour dirty water to Fang Han, but here, Fang Qingshui's words are the imperial edict. Just in front of the mountain, the lady killed the 8 people and 8 cranes. Strong, still vivid, where can you dare to make noise? Fang Qingxie does not care about the embarrassment of these people. In her opinion, the most important thing is cultivation, cultivation, and cultivation. These trivial things don't bother her. She was impressed by the other side and she was promoted. She is a true disciple of Yu Huaman, and the emperor is not as good as her character. Where else is the mind to be short-lived? These are all things that mortals do. Feng Wei, you are responsible for the food and cleaning of Zidian Feng. Pick 300 servants. When I am retreating, according to the recipe, I can send food to my quiet room on time every day. Yes, Fang Qingxie kept telling, a woman named Feng Wei came out. This Feng Wei, who was originally the leader of the Fangfu, was appointed to be responsible for eating and cleaning, but also the same status as the original. Fang Man, you bring 200 people to take charge of this purple electric peak up and down, 80 medicine fields, crystal fragrant rice, purple electric flowers, planting, harvesting. Yes, an extremely man with a sharp eye stood up. This man was just one of the cold and full of killers. Fang Rui, you bring 200 people, responsible for managing clothing, goods, and purchasing all kinds of things you need. Well, I will set the rules, you can do it. After the 4 major events were arranged, Fang Qingxie moved and disappeared directly, and closed the practice. At the same time, the main gate of the Purple Palace was also slowly closed, leaving the servants of the 100 people in the square. Prepare everyone. The original couple of the family, the second Miss Fang Qingwei, was not present. Because they are outside disciples, they have gone to the deeper mountain to learn. The disciples of Yuha Shanshan are divided into foreign disciples, inner disciples, and true disciples. Then they are in charge of criminal law, emperors and other elders, as well as deputy gatekeepers, and finally teach. The servants of Fang Han are actually not the people who have feathered the door. Among them, the foreign disciples have a fight with each other and want to be promoted to be an inner disciple, while the inner disciples fight to be promoted to true disciples. The true disciples fight each other and want to be promoted to the elders of the sect. Between the elders, they also fought each other and peeped at the big position. The disciple with the highest status is the true disciple. Every true disciple has a mountain of and his status is lofty. Some of the mysterious disciples can even be comparable to the elders. It was just that there was no great work for the sect and no promotion. The 8 riding cranes that Fang Qingxie had killed in front of the mountain were the outside disciples and belonged to another mountain peak, Baifengfeng. The true disciple of Bai Yangfeng is Jinshitai. Fang Qingxie killed them. Li Wei, who has just become a true disciple, is dissatisfied with many people. If he is swallowed up by people, he will be inconvenient in the future, so he will be violently killed. Although there was some trouble afterwards, Fang Qingxie believed that he could resist it. This 10,000 animal card, after the blood drop, you can control the crane white tiger, I have to try it, ride the crane to the heavens. But, first pick the slave and say, 250 people listen to me, not bad. Fang Qingxie closed the door of the purple electric palace and went to the retreat. Fang Han immediately stroked the beast card, and wanted to drop the blood on it, then control the flight of the crane. The taste of flying in the sky is something that no one can resist. At the same time, he has to pick a slave. Kids, take the beast card. A sneer, pass it behind. When Fang Han hurried back, he saw a middle-aged man wearing a silky face and a long face. He laughed and stepped himself to himself. At the same time, the middle-aged man's body and muscles creaked like a head. The tiger is staring at the little white rabbit. At the same time, Fang Rui, both holding their arms, looked at themselves with gloating. Fang Lai, what are you doing? Fang Han knows that this middle-aged man who is slowly forced to come over, he knows that this middle-aged person is a very high-ranking person, called Fang Lai, who is the chief of guards. The fat man who managed the beast did not fall on his head. Of course, he was extremely dissatisfied. Fang Lai's original position in the Fang Fu was not even comparable to Fang Han's. Even if he was a disciple of Fang's family, he would respect him. Nature is to let you hand over the beast card. You are my hand. Why, you are not willing to hand it over? Fang Lai saw the face of Fang Han, his face was even colder. This is what Missy told me. Fang Han licked his lips. Ha 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 ha, even if Missy told me, but you think that you can command the following people as soon as you wait for the slaves. Who is present in the party, the status is not higher than you. You command a look, see if they can't listen to you. Fang Dafu, this kid lets you work under him, you promise not to agree. At this time, Fang Meng talked. He was the general manager of the renting house in the original government. Although Fang Qingshe was appointed as the administrative medicine field, the general manager of Shandao was also fat, but where he could see the cold, he immediately promoted it. To the slave, one of the roads called Fang Dafu. Jokes, an inferior slave who raises a horse, wants to call me. Mao is not long, go home and eat 2 years of milk. Fang Dafu is a middle-aged man with a slick face. He is the old fritter of the Fang Fu family. He immediately sneered at the news and looked at Fang Han with contempt. N-O-V-E-N-C-O-M. Kid, what kind of prestige do you have? When you raise the general manager of the beast? Another family called. The milk on my body has not been broken yet. I want to call us. The general manager, give him a lesson. Let him know how high the sky is and how thick the land is. Kid, remember, in the Fang Fu, you are always inferior to the minion, it is impossible to turn over. Today, you will break a bone, let you know that you know the lesson. After the poster is brighter, Missy will not governing the family, we naturally manage the purple peak for her. Fang Liashao smiled. Yes, this general manager had a nickname before, called a cracked bone hand. For a long time, there was no cracking of human bones, and the hand was really itchy. Is it? I don't have a prestige, just take your leeway. Fang Han took the beast card into his arms, and his footsteps moved, hee. 7 steps and 1 step, foot 7 stars. 7 footprints appeared on the ground in an instant. In the twinkling of the cold, the preemptive strike, grabbed the front of Fang Lai, and then broke out of the leg, Kui Xing kick. The leg shadows broke. In the Fang Fu, Fang Han did not dare to display the Kuixing kick, but here is different, Fang Qingshe obviously ignores the matter, presses the slaves below, how to do it. Hey, whistling legs and tears. Not good. The cracked bones were just about to start. Suddenly, I felt that I had a flower in front of me, and Fang Han actually grabbed it and couldn't help but be shocked. In a hurry, he showed his own hot tricks. However, the power of Fang Han is much more than that of him. Every leg has directly broken his grasping technique, and then 5 consecutive feet, kicking on his body. What? Fang Lai's big body, such as sandbags, was generally hit, dropped to the ground, blood squirting, and the blood foam in his mouth was like a fish bubble. I have only cultivated to the realm of 4 rigid and soft, and dare to mad in front of me. Fang Han kicked the ball with a foot, and after Fang kicked off, he also laughed. Everyone was shocked. The people present, including Fang Man, Fang Rui, several fine masters, also stunned. No one expected that a small, horse-raising slave would actually kick the guards. Fang Dafu, just asked you to go home to eat milk. Fang Han took the crowd and was still shocked. The body moved, and took a few steps, and grabbed the side of the slick middle-aged Ding Fang Dafu. Pulled his hair. Fang Han's current martial arts has already reached the realm of divine power, and he has the power of Ju Jin Jin Dan. Even if he is the same level of divine power, his physical quality is not as good as his. Although he lacks practical experience, he has a heart. The stock is strong. Fang Dafu is his opponent. Ah! The old fritter's Ding Fang Dafu issued a scream of screaming, the scalp was almost torn off by Fang Han, struggling to struggle, the small hybrid. Curse instinct came out of the mouth. What? Fang Han you stunned, and Fang Dafu fell to the ground. Then he stepped on it and stepped on Fang Dafu's face. He stepped down and everyone saw that Fang Dafu's face was almost flattened. Blood bubbles keep coming out of your mouth. Hey! Fang Han took another step and stepped on the bones of Fang Dafu's hand. These miserable scenes scared everyone. You didn't think that I have strength. Fang Man, about you think, I am a villain, there is nothing wrong, I am a villain. I am a villain, You don't listen to me, this is the end. Between the words, Fang Hanchi and another foot, directly cut a hand of Fang Dafu. Dare to marry me, I let you break your hand. Chapter 11. Bloody Sacrifice. Chapter 11. Blood Dropping. It's good to have the feeling of strength. It's no wonder that Mrs. Fang Qingshe is in the world, and she has the power to kill. Listening to Fang Dafu, the skeleton of this slave is constantly making a squeaking voice under his feet. The happiness in Fang Han's heart is rising. It is not the refreshment of the real villain, but the kind of power that has the power to manipulate the destiny of others. After so many years, at this moment, Fang Hankai feels that he is truly like a person. I still have to have the power, the extremely powerful power, the power of the magical powers, to be a good person. The power of the present is still very weak, and it is still very insignificant. The strength brought by this power is nothing, it must be become stronger, stronger, and stronger. After trying to bring the refreshment brought by strength, Fang Hankai felt that what wealth, fame and fortune are all outside the cloud, their power is eternal. Fang Han, what are you doing? I dare to kill people here. Fang Man, Fang Rui's face changed drastically, stepping forward step by step, mutual horns, faintly covering Fang Han. These two people are also masters, or they will not climb to the high position in the slaves of the Fang family. You must know that the Fang family has a face-faced slave. After going out, it is more prestige than the county magistrate. How? Do you want to break your foot? Fang Han turned and sneered. To tell you the truth, I have cultivated to the 5th place in the physical body, the realm of divine power. You have to do it, too. Please measure the quantity first. What? The 5th, the realm of divine power. No wonder Fang Lai will be defeated in your hands. Hearing here, Fang Man, Fang Rui's face is embarrassing. The body has been cultivated to the realm of the 5-fold divine power. Only some of the core disciples of the Fang family have the ability. They are just moves, and the 3 to 4 level realm of softness, and softness is the self-deprecating. Although in their hearts, 10,000 people do not believe that Fang Han will actually cultivate to the level of divine power, but the facts are in front of them, and they are not allowed to believe. Hey, the person who knows the time is Junji. Fang Han licked his lips. Look at what we have to do for Missy. I will not interrupt your hands and feet today. It is no more than a house. Missy, the retreat is half a year. I killed you and threw it at the bottom of the mountain. It is a matter of words. Then go. The party is still a bit hard. Did you start to say that you would not listen to me? And did not pay attention to the grievances of Fang Mang? Fang Han turned his eyes to the few slaves who had just started. Pu Tong, seeing his fierce gaze, a few servants who had just started to fall down on the ground. The cold man is forgiving, the cold lord is forgiving. After the cold man, let's go in the rain, the knife and the sea, never frown. Cold lord, hearing others shouting for himself, Fang Hengsen smiled, get up. From now on, you will follow me, and raise the spirit beast for Missy. And you. A couple of people had been connected for a while, because the leeway, the people who were ordered, did not rush to squat and not listen to orders. If, in the past, more than 200 people in every slave were higher than Fang Han, how could they listen to him? However, Fang Han's tricks for the villain were to win the battle, and no one dared to touch his mold. Good, not bad. 250 people were organized, and Fang Lai, who was on the ground by Fang Hanchao, walked over. Well, Fang Han, today's things will come to an end. Fang Lai does not listen to Missy's orders, and robs you of the beast card. It is also self-defeating. You have also played, and now you are starting to do things. At this moment, I just looked at Fang Fang, who had just looked at everything. The leader of the entire Xidian Palace Diet seems to be an extremely mysterious person. She just did not say a word, and finally came out to stop it. I also have this meaning. Fang Han turned around and looked at Fang Hao for a while. This sly, wearing a green dress, tall legs, tall, crane-like, slim, eyes with a breath of water, especially breath, extremely long, the speed of the heartbeat, if not, is obviously a master. For this party, Fang Han heard about it when he was a slave to the family. He was the leader of the Scorpion and had a very high status. The rumored Fang Jia's owner, Long Yuan's governor, Fang Zitao, intended to be her sister, because the lady's opposition, so it's gone. No-vel-b-in.c-om. With the intuition, Fang Han felt that there was a mysterious smell on her body, but it was not easy to take it lightly, and immediately put it down. Let's go, everyone, we have to go up and down the purple electric peak, take care of it, and let the young lady cultivate with peace of mind. Fang Hao clap his hands. Fang Man, Fang Rui first left with a wave of people, and Fang Han also took a wave of people to leave, picked a mountain between the mountains, a great palace to live. This purple electric peak, there are 7 or 8 palaces in the whole peak, except for the purple electric palace of the foothills, which is the place where Fang Qingshe lived and cultivated. The rest of the palaces were reserved for slaves, but they were also magnificent. The starting house is much more magnificent in the capital of Longyuan province. Fang Han lived in the spiritual palace, the entire palace, a lot of animal pens, poultry farms. This crane is really big. In the Mings of the Beast, Fang Han saw the cranes that were raised, and there were 36, each crane, 2 or 3 tall, huge, wings wide as giant door panels, a long shout, earth-shattering, a moving wing, enough to blow people away. Such a large crane does not know how the feather door is raised. However, these cranes are now trapped in the palace. There are huge nets in the sky and nets on all sides. These nets are pure purple colors, which seem to be a kind of purple silk, which makes these cranes unable to fly. Million animal card. Drop blood on the top, can you really command these cranes? Fang Han took out the one beast card. On this jade card, there are exactly 36 cranes. Biting his finger, Fang Han dripped his own drop of blood on the one beast card. This blood went down, hey, suddenly, he felt his mind. It seems to be integrated into the card, which seems to be part of your body. With the movement of the mind, this one beast card actually floated in the air. How can this be the case? How can I fly the beast card? Do I also cultivate into the mysterious secret? Fang Han shocked. It's not that you cultivated into the mysterious secrets, but the mana of the beasts themselves. On the top of the beasts, the elders of the feathers were portrayed, and the blood was spurred by your big blood. This is the **** sacrifice. Magic weapon, now you can communicate with these 36 cranes. Just then, a voice rang after Fang Han. It turned out to be a girl. Fang Han looked at it, but it was Fang Wei, the mysterious scorpion leader. Fang girl, seems to know quite a lot. I have been doing the sows in the Fangjia for so many years. The ancestors of the Fang family are the disciples of the feathers. I know a little more about it. I am far from the imperial court, and I have more tribute to the Yuhuamen every year. Fang Wei spoke, whispering, not showing the bottom, but slightly revealed a very important message. Blood sacrifice. Fang Han heard a new word. Blood sacrifice, is a person who will not be supernatural, a means of cultivating magic weapons. Yuhuamen, there are 3 disciples, the first disciple, the outside disciple, pure cultivation. The second disciple is an inner disciple. Although they have not stepped into the masters of the magical realm, they all have the magic weapon of the martial art, or flying swords, or flying knives, body shields, amulets, etc. These flying swords, flying knives, and one in general, the animal card contains a large array of mana. After the blood drop, you can let the disciples without magical powers, with the help of their minds, greatly increase the ability of self-defense and defensive. After all, the feather door is the top 10 sects of Shandao, but still there are enemies, such as the congenital demon, the demon gods, all of them are the enemies of the birth and death of the door. How can the enemy be against the enemy? Fang Wei smiled slightly. We are not a disciple of Yuhuamen, but if it is a coincidence that it is taken by someone and included in the door wall, these things must be understood. The beast card is just the lowest instrument. If you really get a sword flying from the elders of the feathering gate, after the blood drop, the heart will push and kill people 10 miles away. It is the real spirit. Spirit? Fang Han suddenly asked. The magic weapon of the monk is divided into the instrument, the spirit, the treasure, the Tao, the fairy. Fang Wei seems to be raising the point of cold. The instrument is to have a mana, can be used, such as fire, water, wind, and your 10,000 card, you can simply communicate with the beast. This instrument, as long as it is a master of magical powers, can concentrate on its own magic, and the spirit the instrument is a mythical secret, cultivated to the 5-level realm, the level of heaven and humanity, the mana structure becomes a variety of large arrays, blessed on the artifacts, with extraordinary spirituality. And treasures, is a more rare treasure, then the spirit is more powerful, otherwise it can't be called this treasure. As for the Tao, it is the legend, a baby has gotten it, can cultivate and grow up. This kind of Tao is already a legendary existence. The fairy has never been seen by anyone, only in the history of myth. Your martial arts have been cultivated into the realm of divine power, but if you meet someone who has a sword, you can kill you instantly. Thank you, my girl told me so much, let me open my eyes. Fang Han quickly expressed gratitude, and at the same time, he felt a mystery to the identity of this party. You have offended Fang Rui today, they will be bad for you sooner or later. Missy retreats, will not care about these mundane things, maybe they concealed you. A few months later, Missy went out, no longer I remember you this person. Fang Hao nodded. Fang Han smiled. Their martial arts are naturally not your opponents, but they have sent people to find the young master, and you have to tell you. You have to be careful. Also, Yu Huishan, a total of 108 true disciples, 3 or 5,000 the inner disciples, hundreds of thousands of outside disciples, the relationship is intricate. Missy is arrogant, this time killed the people of Bianfang, those people may find us trouble, our lives, but very cheap, when people kill, they will kill, and they must be careful. I will say so much, and I will feed the cranes and beware of it. Fang finished, went out, leaving Fang Han alone to think here. Yu Xiaoye, called Fang Yu, is the younger brother of Fang Qingshe. This time he was brought by Fang Qingshe and went to the depths of the Feathering Mountain to be a disciple. This Fang Han knows. Blood sacrifice, sacrifice. Right, I still have a pair of crouching Wangquan map, I don't know if I can drop blood to sacrifice. Fang Han suddenly, the heart moved, the crouching Wangquan map, is the magic gate emperor the object of Wangquan the Great, do not know whether it is a spirit, or a treasure, or a Taoist. Even a fairy, anyway, it is definitely not the lowest instrument. Chapter 12, Crane Fairy. Chapter 12 Crane Fairy, Million Animal Card. Floats in the air with his own mind, magical and incomparable, so that Fang Han's mind is also alive. Blood sacrifice, can make people in the flesh use various magic weapons, which is an unparalleled advantage. Only those who practice martial arts know that no matter how powerful they are, they cannot exert their strength by virtue of the flesh. The flesh cannot fly, the flesh is afraid of a knife and a gun, and the flesh is afraid of poison, water, fire, thunder, etc. In short, even if the body of the flesh is cultivated to the realm of the 10 deaths, with the power of 5 horses, it cannot escape the fate of mortals. Unless you cultivate into the mystery secret, the brain develops, repairs mana, and possesses magical powers. But how hard is the magical secret? Among the 10,000 masters, one has succeeded in cultivation, that is, the blessings of the ancestors, the opportunity of Tianda. At this time, the role of the magic weapon came out. If a person who is still in the flesh, has a flying sword, you can swear by 1,000 steps, after the blood drop, you can fly freely, what about the lethality? If this person has a amulet, cloth into a wall, and the guns do not enter, then what is the human weapon? A master of the realm of divine power, I am afraid to kill the master of God change. Even if it is a low-level instrument such as the Million Animal card, Fang Han knows that if he uses it well, he will only be able to control the spirit beast to attack the enemy. Try it, put the blood on the top of the crouching yellow spring map. No, I am afraid there will be changes. If the crouching Wangquan map can be drenched with blood, I am afraid that Bai Hai Chan has already done this before, and it is not for me. Well, in case something happens, I will die. Fang Han is a cautious person. Knowing that, the crouching of Huang Quan too, is a strange thing, in case the blood sacrifices make mistakes, ignites what is different, and it is difficult to die. Therefore, he still tries to test what the One Beast card looks like, and can communicate with the beast for himself. If 36 cranes are able to listen to their own commands, then the devil master cannot help himself. Going to the front of a crane that is obviously the leader, this crane, compared to other cranes, is obviously rich and handsome, and the head is still taller. The top of the crane is also brightly lit like a flame, so everyone sees it. It is concluded that this crane is the leader. The crane looked at Fang Han and gave a long shout. Immediately, Fang Han felt that a women's card conveyed a woman's delicate voice. Boy, hurry up and open the net, put the girl out to fly, active bones. Well, Fang Han was shocked and observed from all sides. Hey, what do you see? It is the voice of the girl. You drop the blood on the card of the beast. The voice of the girl can be conveyed on the card of the beast, changing the language of the adult so that you can understand. Quote. This crane was a long shout, and a heartfelt voice was clearly conveyed from the beast card. What, this girl, you are the crane that is talking. Fang Han understands the specific role of the beast card. Okay, then I will let you out, you will fly me up. Hey, let the girl serve 3 meals a day, comfortably, this girl can also consider, help you a little, if you are not serving this girl will not listen to you. You think, mastered 10,000 can the beast card command the girl? The beast card is just a musical instrument that can communicate with us. We are equal. The crane started to look up, and a pair of crane eyes looked down and looked at Fang Han with pride. It turned out to be the case. I thought that the beast card could command this group of cranes. It turned out to be just a communicator. It seems that it is not an easy thing to raise a beast. Fang Han knows that his own control of 30 cranes in the hope of defeating the God Change Master is only frustrated. Hate fairy, Xiaosheng is polite. After Fang Han understood this, his face changed, he smiled and sang a fat floating astronomy. The tornado smashed and the tornado smashed out. These cranes flashed their wings and rushed out. They glided and glided in the sky. You are a very good person, very good, it seems that we can be friends. And your breath is still very strong. The strength is very good. The Hio's fairy flew for a while, suddenly a dive, fell to the face of Fang Han, the strong wind blew him to hold his breath, but his footsteps did not move. From now on, I will let them help you more. Thank you for the crane fairy, don't know what the crane fairy wants to eat, Xiaosheng prepare for you. Fang Han nodded. Of course it is roast pheasant, roast rabbit, I went to other mountains, grabbed some hare, pheasant came over, you gave us a roast, salt, mustard, put a little more, hey, I want to eat roast it's a pity, but it's a pity that it won't use fire, so you don't have to burn the feathers. You can only rely on you. Baked rabbits, pheasants, good incense. Hio's fairy was talking between, and the water in his mouth kept going down and dripped onto the ground, giving off a burst of fragrance. This is a crane, a very expensive medicine. Fang Han looked at the cranes that had fallen to the ground. It was a pity that I wanted to find something to collect. 100 years of cranes are good things to regulate the internal organs, nourishing yin and yang, nourishing the lungs. Not to mention the millennium cranes, the treasures of the martial arts, the cultivation of the innermost things, the strong things inside. 1 or 2 gold 1 money. The cranes of the feather gate are all heterogeneous, and the cranes are afraid of being comparable to the old cranes for 1,000 years. Go, let's catch the game. After the Hio's fairy drooled, it threw up and greeted another crane, and a group of cranes flew out to the mountains outside the Yuha mountain. No Velpi in .c Ohm. You, build the grill. Seeing that the group of cranes flew away, Fang Han quickly told the men and women of more than 200 servants, built many grills and prepared for barbecue. In a short while, the group of cranes flew back, and the cranes caught some wild game. In addition to pheasants and rabbits, there were big fish in the river, wild wolves, foxes, and even sika deer, tigers, leopards, antelope, wild boar, bear. What is even more powerful is that the crane fairy actually grabbed a full-bodied big python and threw it on the ground, and shocked all the slaves. It really is fat, just let these cranes go hunting, I don't know how much money I can earn every day. Tiger skin, bear skin, fox skin, snake gall, bear paw. Fang Han looked at all of this and knew in his heart why Fang Rui and Fang Lai had their eyes on their position. The slaves under the command were busy for a long time, peeling the wild animals, and then selecting the meat barbecue. Fang Han went in battle personally, and made the big python caught by the crane fairy scented, trying hard to serve, even if he was still waiting. Let the slave get some good wine and drink it for the crane fairy. These cranes, one by one, were served with enough food, flew into the sky for a while, landed, and went back to their place of residence to sleep. These cranes are not as complicated as the waiters, and their minds are relatively simple. After serving these cranes, Fang Hengsen breathed a sigh of relief. For dozens of days, Fang Han, in addition to secretly practicing martial arts, really served this group of cranes, and gradually, and the crane fairy, hooked. After his boxing method, after practicing in the realm of divine power, the 9 miles of Golden Dan, in the heart seems to be running a lot slower, as if the cultivation of the flesh has reached a limit. However, Fang Han is not slack, still practicing hard every day, and the devil-style training is persevering. He believes that one day, he will break through again. On this day, Fang Han let the crane fairy drink a little wine, and when he was riding the head, he proposed the taste of flying to the sky. Flight is not an easy thing to do. You grab my feathers and fall down. This girl can't care. A pair of cranes are drunk, and the cranes are dripping down. This is caught by Fang Han with a bowl. I will be careful, I got the permission of the crane fairy. When Fang Hanyi turned over, he climbed the crane back. He has now cultivated into the realm of divine power. He is as a monkey, and he is comparable to a civet cat. This girl flies. Hexianzi stood up and fluttered his wings. When Fang Han suddenly felt a shock, he seemed to have lost his weight. I saw the mountains below, the mountains, and the stars. The palace is only the size of a fist. If it falls, it will be a broken bone. Is this the feeling of flying? I am finally in the sky. Although some of my heart is uneasy, but Fang Han is very excited. However, this is flying by external force. One day, I will cultivate to the mysterious secrets, and I will volatility. This is the real God. Fang Han secretly said, but his hands clenched. The feathers of the crane fairy. Hio's fairy, dragged its wings, and the arrows generally shuttled through the clouds. In a short while, they flew out of the feathered fairy mountain. Outside the feathered mountain, it is a continuous mountain. Who knows how many mountains, 100,000, and millions. No one in the mountain knows how many secrets are hidden. Where are we going to fly? Seeing the purple peak disappeared, Fang Han asked on the back of the crane through the beast card. Afraid of what? This girl can fly 1,000 miles at an hour. Crane fairy said, it is not easy to go back, a few wings will be fanned. That's good, everything will listen to you, anyway, the wings grow on you. Fang Han buried his head, the whole person did not enter the crane plumb, as if wearing a great crane, airflow from the feathers gliding past, unable to blow his body, the whole person suddenly relaxed a lot, enjoy the process of flying. At this moment, suddenly, in front of the mountains, a few stunned, like a wolf smoke, skyrocketing, forming 7 pillars of smoke, as if to smash the sky. Among the thick and dark columns of smoke, countless black and white smoke condensed into a sly face, as if the door of the demon world was opened. Not good. This is the 7 smoke of the demon gods, and go quickly. Feathered Shanshan, tens of thousands of miles, there can be no demon, 2 people of the demon. This is how it is going. Go quickly. As soon as the crane fairy saw the smoky pillar of the smoky smog, he wowed and screamed, and a hovering turned sharply, almost smashing Fang Han out of the feathers. What is going on? Fang Han also saw the distant mountains, 7 wolf smoke black columns. Run, run, be discovered, we will die. Crane fairy cannot care so much, violently back. At this moment, among the 7 wolf smoke pillars, suddenly a black smoke flew out and condensed into a face full of horror on the door panel, flying like a pounce, opening a ***** mouth, biting crane flying in the air and Fang Han. Chapter 13, Conspiracy. Chapter 13 Conspiracy. What is serious as 7 cigarettes? That face is going to catch up. On the back of the Hio's fairy, Fang Hanyu looked out from the gap of the feathers and found that the sly face made up of black smoke was chasing all the way, the mouth was wide open, the teeth were stunned, and even in the wind, there was still a faint sneer of the devil. The wind in the sky, the strong airflow, even the people are blowing, let alone the smoke. However, this group of cigarettes has always been invisible, as if it was really a devil, and had to make Fang Han shocked. Although Fang Han has a wide range of knowledge, it is not a housekeeper in Fangfu, but he has never seen such a strange and dangerous scene. His heart is swaying and he mentioned the eyes of the blind man. Silver is a magic weapon made from toxic smoke, it is a magic weapon. It is very powerful, only the outstanding inner disciple of the demon ***** can be given. If it is covered by this hood, they all turn into pus and blood. This kind of poisonous smoke can only be restrained by the Qinghong true gas of the feathers. Unfortunately, Qinghong's true gas is only able to be possessed by an outstanding inner disciple. The crane fairy flashed in the sky, and the smoke behind him was desperately chasing, and it was 100 miles away. What is the demon god? Fang Han saw the speed of the crane fairy flying, always surpassed this smoke face, and his heart settled down a little, and asked quickly. The demon gods are the demon-like sects. Their status is similar to that of the Feathering Gates. Their lords, demon gods, have cultivated a supernatural power for a long time, and then practiced the longevity, stepped into the longevity secret, transformed flesh and blood, and transformed into adulthood, juxtaposed with the demon gate, called the demon god. The crane fairy squats, and does not want to fly fiercely. The demon road, the magic road, the fairy road, these years have been safe and sound. According to the truth, the demon gods, it is impossible to appear around the Yuha mountain. Some animals, because of the strong asterisk, occasionally in the mountains, taking what Guangxi Xian Sao, re-enhanced, can also brain development, produce supernatural powers, such animals, called demon. Because of the human body, in the end, it is still weaker than some animals. However, there are few monsters that can break through the mysterious mystery and step into the legendary longevity. Once you step into the longevity secret, you can change your body freely, drop blood and regenerate, and change adults. Such a demon, it is really a magical power, the magic is boundless. Opened the school, became a god, and juxtaposed with the Tao. No vel b in c om. Just then, the danger suddenly came. The smoky face of the smog made a sharp scream, suddenly accelerating and swooping over. Not good. We are going to die. Crane Fairy is like a little girl, shouting. The body shivered. Fang Han also felt that the eyes were black, and the smell of a very stinking smell was conveyed into his own internal organs. He was strongly poisonous and seemed to melt his body. In front of him, the black smoke smashed his face and bite at himself and the crane. Poisoned, the whole body is pus. Fang Hengsen has only one such thought. But then, his heart suddenly became hot, and it seemed to be the toxin of the Silver 7 smog. It was stimulated to the Jui Jindan. Jui Jindan violently operated, and a scent filled out, and immediately dispelled the poisonous smoke. Later, he felt that the Yanfu Wangquan in his clothes was slightly moved, and the whirlpool generally gave a strong suction. The smog, the nourishment, the black smoke wrapped up, disappeared, and all of them got into the body of Fang Han's body, the Yellow Springs. The sky was clear and clear, the breeze was in the nose, and the smell of the smell was gone. Hexianzi also felt that he had recovered his ability to move. He suddenly shook his wings and rushed again. Several fan wings flew toward the feathered mountain. What happened? Just now we are dying. Why did the wolf smoke 7 days and suddenly disappeared? Looking at the front, the purple electric peak is far from looking. This time it is definitely safe. Even the mysterious demon **** of the demon god does not dare to come to the feathering mountain to kill. Hexianzi made a surprised voice, and she did not understand why the black smoke immediately disappeared as soon as she touched herself. Only Fang Han's heart was slightly understood, but I was afraid that it was the role of the Yunfu Wangquan map. This mysterious picture, I don't know what else it works. But in this case, naturally, I can't say to the Crane Fairy. I don't know why, maybe we are lucky. The man took the smoke back, and the people who were afraid of feathering Shanshan discovered it. Fang Han was dumb. Fortunately, the wisdom of the Hio's fairy is equivalent to the little girl of the age of ***, so it is very deceptive. Maybe it is, let's escape a robbery, it's really dangerous. The Crane Fairy hovered and fell to the mountainside of Zidianfang, and Fang Han rested for a long time before calming down. Today is tired, Fang Han. I have to go back to rest. With his wings patted his long neck, the Crane Fairy yawned and the crane snorted. All right, I am afraid that the outside is dangerous. Later, you will let the rest of the cranes not fly away from the feathered mountain. Fang Han nodded and looked at the Crane Fairy to rest, so he secretly hid in his room to see what kind of change happened to the Huofu Wangquan. At the same time, just in the vicinity of the feathers, I do not know the place in the Mingu mountain, where the Silver 7 smokes rushed, the smoke column slowly descended. Finally, the 7 columns of smoke were gathered into a palm-sized dark green gourd. This dark green gourd, which is covered with a symbol, flows in layers, as if it were a large array. The 7-day-old wolf smoke the sea and the rivers were generally received. A young man in black, with a cold face, picked up the dark green gourd from the ground. The eyes looked at the sky. How can the crane be run? Even some of my scorpion smokes are taken away. What happened? Wang Molin brothers, what do you do sneaking? Just then, in the mountains, the hustle and bustle, followed by a green shadow, coming from the valley, suspended in front of this black young man. Gold stone platform, wolf smoke ball. This black and cold young man named Wang Molin saw the coming man, and quickly waved his hand. The gourd flew out a cloud of smoke, turning it into a group of dark green spheres, wrapping itself in it, like a big bubble. Also volleyed up. This dark green bubble, the first is to help him float, and the second is to guard him. The green figure is actually the Jinshitai of the true biography disciple, Bai Yangfeng, who sent a conflict with Fang Qingshe in front of the Yuha mountain. It seems that the Molin brothers have not yet entered the mysterious mystery. Otherwise, they will not use the mana of the 7 gourds to make themselves suspend. The wolf smoke method of this gourd surrounds the whole body, and the sword cannot be shot. Kill, okay. Jin Shite sneered. Golden Stone Terrace, this time is your letter, let me help you. Why do you want to say this irony? I step into the mysterious secret, it is a matter of time. Now even if it is a mysterious person, as long as it is not cultivation to the 5th place of Shintong, the heaven and the earth, you can arrange the strong people of the big array. I can also divide the autumn with the 7 gourd. Wang Molan said coldly, if you are not you, it is the feather door. The elders of the house will give you endless benefits. 5 years ago, if you were a few elders of the feathering gate, they would become a yin and yang, and you will be able to ask for you. Can you cultivate to the mysterious secrets? Become a true disciple. It may also be mixed with the inner disciples now. Your news is very well informed. Well, there is not much nonsense. I am sending you a letter this time, it is because you want to help me. Your 7 gourd is a treasure, baby. With him, he can resist the purple electric scalpel knife of Fang Qingshe. Jin Shite's body is shining with flames, I don't know what I am thinking. Are you sure, Jui Jindan, crouching Huang Quantu in Fang Qingshui's hand? If it is not in her hand, I don't want to take such a big risk to deal with her. You know, it is easy to deal with Yu Huaman's true disciple. Cause the fairy, the devil, the demon 3, once again. Wang Molan confirmed, his 7 gourds, kept popping out of the dark green air, wrapped in the body of the wolf smoke ball, is more sturdy. 7 gourd, is a treasure weapon. It is powerful and is picked up by a demon vine cultivated by the demon gods. It is a 5-handed god, a master above heaven and earth, fortunately honing and portraying. A lot of big battles are on the top. Therefore, although Wang Molan is not a master of the mysterious secrets, but with this, 7 gourds, sacrifices, but with the help of the gourds mana, killing, flying, guarding the body. It is a treasure that has both offense and defense, but it is also called the word, Bao. Treasures, as the word, treasure, are all cherish. Of course, the Baihai Zen of the Stargate saw the falling of the meteorites in Wangquan Mountain. So when they searched for it, they found that the meteorite in the Wangquan Mountain had a big hole, and there were 9 golden dragons encrouching Wangquan. Jui Jindan can help you break through the mysterious mystery. And the crouching of Wangquan, the rumor, is the symbol of Huangquan, the rumor is the road to the Tao, which contains the secret of the day. If someone got the secret, they can get the clothes of Huangquan, and reintegrate the 4-part Wangquanman into a new generation of demons. Baihai Zen got the news of these 2 treasures, only the family knows. The first few months Baihai Zen suddenly disappeared in Longyuan province. Do you say that these 2 things are in the hands of Fang Qingshe? In this way, we have settled Fang Qingshe, and you took Jui Jindan, and at the same time, we jointly enlightened the crouching Wangquan map. A secluded road. You want to kill Fang Qingshe? The true disciple is dead, and you can't escape it. Wang Molan wondered. I don't kill her, just to take her body and mind, conquer her, let her dedication to come out. The boundless conspiracy was revealed from the mouth of Jin Shite. Chapter 14, Outside Disciple. Chapter 14, Foreign Disciples. Today, fortunately, the crouching Wangquan map saved my life. This picture, what secret is there? What level of magic weapon? Fang Han was on the bed, and took out the Yunfu Wangquan map, and kept watching. The picture, still dark, a dragon-like snake, squatting in the Wangquan River, sly, secret, revealing a mysterious taste. But apart from mystery, it is an ordinary painting. Forget it, wait for me to cultivate deeper, and know more about the cultivation of the road, and then study this picture. Fang Han will close the picture. Okay. Just then, he found that the picture seemed to be different from the previous one. The darkness, and the yellow spring river with a faint dusk color, seems to have something to swim. Fang Han quickly and carefully looked at the past and found that the picture of Wangquan River swimming on the picture is actually a sly face composed of black smoke. It is the Siberian wolf that chased himself and the crane fairy during the day. Smoke. It was actually sealed in the picture of the Wangquan River. Don't you take any magic weapon? Turning over and over again, Fang Han couldn't take the free face from the picture of the Wangquan River. This picture, although I can't use it, but it can protect my life, but it's okay, and I will bring it with me later. Looking for a rope, Fang Han used this picture as underwear and tied it tightly. The body, like a belly-like dress, this completely let go of the heart, go to sleep. When I woke up, it was already 3 more hours, and the sky was a night, and the night was quiet. This Feather Fairy Mountain, Purple Electric Peak, there is no more people to fight, but after Fang Hanlian to the realm of divine power, especially sensitive to time. As he climbed up and climbed, he stood on a cliff on the mountainside and practiced a fist and a foot, up and down, facing the abyss below, and did not agree. This is his cultivation of guts, practicing on the edge of the cliff, exercising, the spirit is highly tense, the whole body is tight and more stable. Originally, he was on the edge of the cliff, and some of his legs were numb, but after riding the crane to heaven, he felt that the guts had increased by one layer. Deep inside, it seemed to be a layer of brave. It is because of this feeling that he decided today to retrain and break through. The physical situation, after training to the fifth realm of divine power, is a watershed. Many masters, even family disciples, have always stayed in the realm of divine power, and can no longer break through. Because of the following realm, there is a kind of inner thing that contains the inspiration to understand and open up. Behind the realm, the chi in the breath, the in the inner, the courage in the spirit in the psychic, the change in the change of the gods, are all only unspeakable things. Those who are more able to break through the realm of magic power are wonderfully talented or lucky people. It can be said that if you break through the divine power, you will be able to qualify for the magical mystery, otherwise don't talk about it. Today Fang Han seems to have realized what it is. After a fist down, standing on the edge of the cliff, feeling the breath, he quickly stood still, breathing a breath in his mouth, kept coming in and out, like, Dao mi wash dishes. This is a method of cultivation of breath, called, nadi, not the meaning of naughty, but the meaning of taumi, gold rushing, big waves, sanding, exhausting an exhaust gas, in exchange for new gas. This is the method taught by Baihai Zen among the 7 stars boxing. Hey, hey, hey. A breath, like a bubble, in the throat, lungs swallowed, scoured, breath in the body, constantly churning, breathing led the blood pressure to the heart, the body's strength, was affected by the breath. Suddenly, the whole person of Fang Han entered the realm of selflessness. His body stood on the edge of the cliff and was crumbling. It seemed to be blown down by the wind at any time, but he was completely unaware and entered a new realm. The impurities of the whole body blood, in this constant mischief, seems to have been washed away, big waves and sand see the gold. Finally, I rushed to the end. Fight. Fang Han sent out a sound of long-sounding sound from his mouth. The whole body and bones, internal organs, seem to be a lot more compact, and at the same time his ears are very clear, there is any wind and grass, and immediately alert, comparable to the mouse. This is the 6th realm of smoke, in the body of the flesh. The whole body is extremely sensitive, the reaction is more flexible, the internal organs begin to be firm, concise, and impurities in flesh and blood are gradually refining and purifying. Fang Han feels that he has infinite energy, and at the same time feels that he can clearly see, deep in the heart, the 9 miles of golden Dan constantly exudes powerful power. At the same time, he tried to direct his heart slightly, and suddenly the heart stopped beating slightly. The 9 golden dragon was hidden deeper and the medicine stopped diverging. At this time, no one can see that in the heart of his heart, he still hides a panacea. This time, he can hide deeper. At this time, Fang Han felt that there was a slight wind behind him. He is very sensitive now. He listens to the 6 roads, his eyes are wide, and he is slightly swaying and touching. Turning this way, I found a woman, white fluttering, like a dragon palace fairy, is the Fang Qingxie who retired for a month. The ability to break through the realm of divine power, to the 6th floor, the realm of the atmosphere, the talents are very good. There is potential, like the children of the family, rarely to the 6th floor. What is your name? Fang Qingxie looked at Fang Han and asked. The original Missy does not remember me. The slave is a cold. It was a month ago, Miss Dad ordered the person who raised the beast. Fang Hengsen made a slight move, and quickly said. Fang Han, well, I seem to have an impression. You are the slave who occasionally eats the horned python liner. Fang Qingxie thought for a while, as if he remembered it. Fang Han said that he had eaten the horned python liner, which is a scam. He really got Ju Jin Jin Dan, but Fang Qingxie does not seem to scrutinize these common things. Fang Han feels that only the master of the mysterious secrets can make Fang Qingxie remember deeply, and the rest of the things will not leave marks. She has not cared about anything about mortals. This kind of mentality is really strong. It is a slave, Fang Han quickly said. Well, yes, it is a pity to reach the realm of 6 breaths, let you raise the beast. It is a pity that you are a member of my family. If you have the strength, you can get the corresponding status. Just outside the door of the feathers, if you have a quota for my family, you will make up. Fang Qingshe said slightly. If you go to the outer door to practice, if you can be promoted to an inner disciple, you might get a spiritual instrument for my family. Fang Qingshe the way. Ah, actually give me a place for a foreigner. When Fang Hanshi heard it, he couldn't believe his ears. He stayed on the purple peak, no matter what, unless he cultivated into the mysterious secret, he would be a slave. But if you become a foreigner disciple of the Feather Gate, it is completely different. Identity is immediately outstanding. On these days, Fang Han already knows that the foreigner disciples of Yuhuaman are all away from the dynasty, or the disciples of several other dynasty families on the border of the dynasty. Now, I am able to enter the wall of the door of the feathers like the disciples of these dignitaries. The identity is simply leaps and bounds. Jumping from a slave to a noble. And in the door of the feathers, you can learn a lot of things. Fang Han also knows that if he blindly builds a car, it is impossible to cultivate into the mysterious secrets. It is so fast, but it is the power of Ju Jin Jin Dan. From the realm of divine power to the realm of breath, it has been stagnant for a month, and this is seen. If you build a car behind closed doors, I am afraid that it will become more and more difficult in the future. At most, it will continue to cultivate to the realm of 7 strong, and will stay for a year, 2 years, 3 years. How can you be a slave? You can cultivate to the realm of 6 breaths, that is, there is morality and power. This world, not looking at identity, only looking at strength. Only strength, is eternal. We feather the door, every year let the great dynasty, Day the dynasty, the 3 great dynasties of the Daksu dynasty came to tribute, not relying on the fairy faith, but the strength, well. Today, you will clean up, bring my handwritten book, go to the place where the disciples are registered, lest I be there, forgotten. Fang Qingshe shot a finger, did not know where, a snow sign, smashed, and then a group of purple lightning condensed on the hand, condensed into a few words on the snow sign, non-stop bright and shining. It seems that there is spirituality. Fang Han took over the snow sign, only to see the purple lightning above, the 8 fonts condensed into Fang Han, outside disciples, included. Simple, as if a warrant. How much power does the true disciple have? Is it the greater the power, the greater the power? Fang Hengsen said, and quickly collected it. N-O-Vel-B-J-N.C. Om. When he collected the letter of introduction, Fang Qingshe had disappeared. Missy, what do I do to raise the beast? Who is it? Fang Han hurriedly shouted, but there was no sound. Fang Qingshe went closed again. Forget it, Fang Qingshe, whatever it is, I am so happy to do what I want to do. It is really happy. The beast card is in my hands, I can at least communicate with the crane fairy, which is very helpful to my outside disciples. When I was a foreign disciple, my identity was different. Under this, Missy Fang Qingshe was kind to me. Bai Hai Zhen also has grace for me. What will he do in the future? Forget it, now I want to so much, what to say later. Fang Han gathered up the complex mood. Outside disciple, what is it like? Chapter 15, Entry Assessment. Chapter 15 Introduction. A crane flies between the peaks of the feathered Shanshan mountain. Fang Hanyu is on the body of the Hio's fairy. In the far-reaching peaks, a huge plain appears in the eye. Above this plain, a majestic city is built. Among the cities, there are one after another colleges and pavilions. This is the plain in the mountains. It is not natural, it seems to be artificial, with a vast magical power, and the immortal man of the magical powers have removed many mountain peaks from the feathered mountains, creating a living plain. This supernatural power of relocating mountains and reclamation is really shocking. This is the place where the feathers are filled, the real disciples live, and cultivate. The number of feathering gates is so huge that Fang Han has learned from Fang Kiko. There are hundreds of thousands of foreign disciples. There are also about 5,000 internal disciples with outstanding status. This is not like those who are mixed in the martial art, raising the beasts and managing the slaves of the medicine field. If you add up, you don't know how much. These disciples, who practiced in the college of Yuhuaman all day, or were organized by the martial art to carry out various sinister experiences, exercise their will and physical strength, in order to cultivate the mysterious secrets and step into the sky. They are also prominent in the status quo. Even if they can't refine the mysterious secrets, they can cultivate the flesh to the top, and then make some merits, get 1 or 2 pieces of artifacts, spirits, and return to their own family. As in the court, you can enjoy the boundless glory and wealth. Oh, Fang Han, when I arrived at this plane, I didn't dare to fly, lest some of the disciples inside would be against me, and the sky on this plane was banned. I put you down, first go back to Purple Peak. If you need me, call me through the ban beast. Seeing that the huge plane is approaching, Hio's fairy quickly reduced the speed of flying, slowly fell, and finally landed on a wide road. Okay. Fang Han nodded, down to earth, watching the Hio's fairy fly back and disappeared, this step by step along the road, into the mighty and majestic city in the plain. This city, all of which are made of white stone, is beautiful and clean. Compared with Longyuan City, it doesn't know how many times it is beautiful, how many times it is wide, and how many times it is clean. Compared with this, the ancient capital of the former dynasty, Longyuan City is simply a small village in the countryside. However, Fang Han did not appreciate the scenery in the city, but went directly to a house on the east side of the city with Fang Qingshui's handwritten book. This mansion, the plaque above, is written in 3 big characters, Tai Xian Yuan. The meaning of this word is, entering the threshold of this house, you step into the fairy road. Atmosphere, absolute atmosphere. In fact, this, Tianxian Yuan, is a college that has begun to enter the door of the entrance to the disciples. At this time, on the square in front of the Tianxian Yuan, there were many young people who were extremely wealthy, extremely savvy, and very identifiable. There were men and women, and they were all recommended to get started. Yuhuamen, one of the top 10 sects of Shandao, faintly controls several major dynasties, high above. Guangguang is a big dynasty, the population is billions, the gates, the nobility, the members of the royal family, do not know how many, all sharpened heads want to come out, no doubt, enter the feather door, even if it is an external door. Disciples, also the capital of promotion, are more able to learn the magic of the gods. Therefore, every month, people are recommended, get places, come here for assessment. And the entry disciples of the feather door, all recruit young people. Because young people, blood is strong, there is hope to step into the mysterious secret, and when people reach middle age, blood gas begins to fail, it is impossible to cultivate into the mysterious secret. It is precisely because of this, Fang Qingshui's father, Long Yuan's governor, Fang Zitao, although it is a realm of 10 physical changes, can't be placed on the wall of the door, because there is no potential. These people are big men, and they don't know which governor, the royal family, the princess, the county lord, and the prince of the king. In short, they can come to this martial arts, Tianxian Yuan, and they are all famous people. I am such a character that I can never be with them. Now I have to become a foreign disciple together. Fang Han is wearing it now, but he is also dressed in a beautiful dress, especially when he stepped into the realm of 6 body, and breathing. The body impurities are gone, naturally there is a majesty and tolerance. Others seem to never think of him. It's just a slave to raising a horse. When you enter the door of the feathers, even a servant is not allowed to bring it. After we enter the door, we live here. Who is there to serve? Do we have to do it ourselves, cooking, laundry, etc. What? Wang Sungong, a hand holding a purple jade folding fan, swayed the fan. Feathering the door of the gods, as long as the entrance wall, the daily meals are arranged by the martial art. The martial art will send the net clothes, dust repellent, soul fire. These instruments also wash clothes with themselves. A wave of the body to the body, immediately cleanse the whole body, cleaner than the time you wash the 10 baths. The meals of the martial art are all superior spirits, which is better than the royal banquet. This is also the treatment of the disciples. After waiting for the inner disciple, the treatment is better. Lu Kong, if you don't have a servant to serve, you can give me this quota. I just have a younger brother who didn't get a quota this time. Another person wearing a bright yellow dress, obviously a royal disciple, is cold and cold. Hey, wait until you can pass the assessment and enter the outside disciples and say it. The evaluation of the outer door of the feather gate is not so easy to pass. Are you confident that you can overcome the power of God? A girl about 15 or 6 years old, saber, boots, and bright teeth, cold and cold. The girl, wearing it, also shows that her identity is very prominent, especially on the head of a fire jade with a thumb-shaped night pearl inlaid with sparkling light. This night pearl, Fang Han has not seen it in Fangfu. Hongyi County Lord, it seems that you are confident that you can overcome the power of God, through the outside door assessment. Of course, the power of the gods, the rumors are endless, the movements are agile, especially the long-term physical strength, and it is inseparable from the swords and guns. Compared with the masters of the realm of divine power, it is hard to beat 3 or 5 times. It is difficult to win. Last year, we were several of the Dad dynasty. The emperor has not been able to pass the assessment, and you should be careful. Listening to the arguments of these prominent disciples, Fang Han's heart gradually has a bottom. What is the power of God? What are these things? These prominent disciples obviously have peerless martial arts on their bodies. At the very least, they have broken through the realm of divine power. Why are they still very jealous of this divine power? I have to be careful, or else, get started. The assessment of the first level is too late. Wugong cultivation has reached the realm of divine power and can be a general. If you break through the divine power and reach the 6-pounded realm, then you will be the capital of the superiors. Generally, only those gates with profound martial arts and rich and expensive, and the royal family, can be cultivated at a young age. Fang Han is not relying on the supreme, Jui Jindan, left by the Emperor Wangquan, and he has never been able to reach the 6-fold atmosphere. Now, here to participate in the assessment of the disciples outside the door, all of them are above the realm of breath, and several are even unfathomable. Dang dang. At this moment, the 2 gates of the Tian Xian Yuan slowly opened. 2 young people wearing water and fire robes came out from the inside and took a look at these prominent disciples outside, screaming, "Today, the outside disciple, the assessment begins, you all come in." Immediately, these prominent disciples sneaked in. One by one, stepping into the threshold, suddenly the spirit is different, it seems that it is really stepping into the fairy. Stop. Just when Fang Han was about to enter, he was blocked. This recommended place seems to have no image of you. What's your name? 2 young Taoists wearing red robes, holding a palm-sized mirror in their hands, hooded toward Fang Han. The mirror did not show the face of Fang Han. I was recommended by Zidian Fang. This is a letter of recommendation. Fang Han quickly took out Fang Qingshui's handbook. The purple electric peak comes. It is the mountain that teaches the supreme reward to the true disciple. Hearing the name of the purple electric peak, the 2 young Taoists clearly glimpsed, then took the book in his hand and opened it. You can see the above. Free purple lightning font. You wait, I am going to report the appraisal. A Taoist hurriedly walked in with a handwritten book. In the Tian Xian Yuan, in a deep hall, a few middle-aged people with a sturdy body sat in a chair, and the temperament of each body was stronger than that of Long Yuan Governor Fang Zitao. Oh brother, you see this assessment, how many disciples can be included in the wall of my feather door? Become a foreigner, asked a middle-aged man. I see this disciple, they are very good. They are all gatekeepers, the outstanding children of the royal family. If even the outside disciples can't do it, then they will lose their faces. But if they want to become inner disciples, I am afraid it is still difficult. Very incomparable. A middle-aged man wearing a water and fire robe smiled. The water and fire robe on his body is obviously a musical instrument, with a slight cloud of water, which emits red light. If 1 or 2 geniuses can become internal disciples, then our credit is also great. If the disciples we are taught, the talents of the heavens, and the ability to break through and become true disciples, then we are afraid to get that. The Presbyterians in the Yuha temple will appreciate and reward us with a precious yin and yang, and we will be able to break through the present realm. Yin Yang Wansho Dan, how precious. I don't ask for that, I only ask the Presbyterian to reward a spirit. Several outside door appraisers chatted. Suddenly, the young Taoist rushed in and took out the recommendation letter from Fang Qingshui. What? Purple electric peak? That Fang Qingshui did not recommend a few people from her side in a month ago. How do you recommend it today? When she became a true disciple, the feather door is her. An appraisal officer screamed, "Hey, be careful, Fang Qingshui is fierce. A month ago, he clashed with Bai Yangfeng and even killed 8 foreign disciples. It is not worthwhile to offend her. Moreover, you can see the tablet of her stay, the purple electricity condensation on it. I am writing, swimming by myself, and having my own spirit. If I guessed it well, this is the level of the magical environment, the 4th level of yin and yang. No vel b in .c ohm. An assessment officer is busy. Shintong's secret, 4th, yin and yang. Several appraisers have taken a sigh of relief. That if she goes further, she will reach the 5-day world. I can use the mana to arrange a large array and refine the spirits. Even if it is the elder of the elders of the Temple of Heaven, it is only this cultivation, this, how? May. I heard that when Fang Qingshui was a disciple of the inner door, there was a martial mission. The demon of the emperor of the congenital demon, the devil, should have a good relationship with each other. There was a period of exchange, and then he stepped into the mysterious secret and became a true biography, disciple. Hey, forbidden, don't guess, this thing, the Presbyterians are forbidden. It is rumored that when the party was promoted to the true disciple of Fang Qingshe, he personally inquired and found that Fang Qingshe had nothing to do. Yuanian did not lose, he wanted otherwise. The Supreme Master will promote her as a true disciple. I am afraid that I will kill the congenital demon, and the Emperor should go to the congenital theory. I have feathered the door, hundreds of thousands of disciples, only 100 disciples, what is the status? Prominent. Anyway, Fang Qingshe is not guilty, just give a quota. An appraisal official said. You go out, put the square cold in, let him and other people to assess together. If the assessment is not, hit back to the purple electric peak, then Fang Qingshe has nothing to say, the assessment has passed, it is also an individual. Chapter 16. Who is divine? Chapter 16. Who is divine power? You are called Fang Han, yes, you have a place. Go in for the assessment, turn left, there is the assessment hall, where are gathered. Fang Han waited at the door, and naturally did not know what some of the appraisers in the Tian Xian Yuan discussed. But he waited patiently. After about half an hour, a young Taoist came out to talk and let go of the door, let him go in, but also let him breathe a sigh of relief. Stepping into the door of this Tian Xian Yuan, there is also a feeling in the sudden cold heart. Their status is different. Indeed, even if it is the outside disciple of Yuhuaman, returning to the great dynasty, it is immediately a prince. Entering the Tianxian Yuan, Fang Han turned to a corridor that was curved for 7 or 8 miles, rockery, lake, and suddenly came to a vast hall. The sons and sons of Wang Sun, who had just entered, were gathered in this hall. The hall is 3,000 steps wide and can accommodate 10,000 people. People stand in the middle of it and feel that they are special, especially in the deepest part of the main hall. There is a black lacquered portal with a vague red stare. All the people reveal fierce, overbearing, cruel, atmosphere. The entire hall is like a hall of the seal of the devil. What is in that portal? Fang Han hearted, and felt that the things in the portal deep in the hall were definitely not good. Could it be the power of God? Like him, those grandsons, the gatekeepers, also curiously looked deep into the dark portal, red eyes. Several examiners came in, and suddenly the atmosphere was suppressed. Good guys, they are masters of the master level, plus there may be blood drops on the body to squander powerful instruments, and even spirits. Fang Han looked at the appearance of several examiners, with the feeling that they know that they are Baihais and the master of the number, the figure of the peak of the flesh. These Wang Sungongzi, the doorkeeper's face also dignified. The body of the 9-pronged spirit, the master of the 10-fold gods, in any empire, can be used as a martial art, a national division, a military martial. Well, today, you come to participate in the assessment of my feathering door. I must also know what the content of the assessment is. It is a kind of divine power. As long as you defeat this god power, you can pass the assessment and formally become a foreign disciple of my feathering door. However, I think, you only know the name of the gods, but you don't know, we the elders, what are the things that I made. I have to explain here, otherwise you will not know how to die when you die. Quote. An appraisal officer is cold and cold. The prototype of the divine power is a demon man. It is and brutal, powerful. After being captured by our feathering door, it erases the mind and practices it. It has infinite power and cruel nature. It is a weapon of killing. What? The power of God is made by the underground devil. No wonder, those princes who have failed to come back or trembled and only say that the power of God is very powerful. These door-valve children are arguing fiercely. Fang Han does not know what the underground devil is, but with intuition, I feel that the power of God is absolutely not easy to provoke. I am afraid that the beasts will be much better than the tigers. Do you think that Shandao is riding a crane? The clouds are clear and clear. Seeing this group of gatekeepers have a lot of arguments, an appraisal officer looks even colder. The road to the fairy road is a no return. The cultivation of the flesh must have a strong the state of mind can develop the brain, repair the mysterious mystery, and set foot on the path of the fairy. I will tell you first, the fairy road is not the cloud, the wind is clear, the rider is happy. The fairy road is fearless, killing the demon, the heart is outside devils, all want to be killed. The road of immortality is a road of thorns, and it is also a sword of nakedness, killing illusion, seeking a path of true self, absolutely not plain, but fighting for life with the sky. One way. Now, with your strength, kill the outer magic and set foot on the first step of the long road. Lu Kang, you are the great dynasty, the scorpion of Junyuanhu, you should go to the center first, accept the assessment. Quote. Good. The hand took the purple jade folding fan. The original doorkeeper who complained that there was no slave in the feather door heard the name of the appraisal officer. He stepped to the center of the hall in a few steps, facing the dark portal, the ****** eyes. The road to the fairy road is not a cloudless wind, it is a road of thorns, and it is a good way to compete with the sky. The sword of the naked road, killing the illusion, seeking true self, this is the fairy road. Absolutely not happy. If you live fast, you can become a fairy, practice magical powers, where is there such a good thing in the world? It must be a hard work, thousands of hardships can be achieved. Fang Han is also a few words of the appraisal officer inspired the mind, the whole body has a feeling of boiling blood. This person was originally the nephew of Junyuanhu. Junyuanhu is a more famous figure in my dynasty. Now there are 800,000 troops in the hands, guarding the frontiers. It is more powerful than Fangjia. For the character, Junyuanhu, Fang Han has also heard of 800,000 military marshals. Being a slave in the Fang family, the scorpion of this character is naturally high and can never be touched. Now, with his own, taking part in the assessment, life is really like a dream. Open the door. Seeing Shangyuan Xiaohuya, Lu Kang stood in the center, several examiners looked at each other, and at the same time waved their hands, each hand sent a fine light into the dark portal. Oh, originally, the fog of the black portal was blocked and spread out. A full-faced and half-high shadow, jumping out and falling to the ground, extremely fierce, violent, shocking the audience, Fang Han looked at the shadow of the shadow. It is a personal shape. The whole body is dark, the skin looks like a black shell, covered with scales, and there are 2 horns on the head. The fangs are wide-mouthed, the hands are like claws, the eyes are red, the muscles under the scales are like steel plates, and the pieces are raised. With a little effort, the bones and muscles will make a loud explosion. Especially this, powerful, the legs are very long, very full of jumping power. Hey, this, magic force, is released, the magic is fierce, as fast as a cheetah, the gluten is strong, only a black shadow flashes, the 5 fingers toward Lu Kang, caught in the head. Fight, Lu Kang seems to be shocked by the fierce and violent temper. The action is slightly slow. Between the dodge, the clothes on the shoulders are cracked, and 5 long blood marks appear. If the dodge is fast, the head is scratched. Immediately died. Ah, seeing such danger, many disciples on the scene were amazed, and even Fang Han felt that it was really thrilling. That divine power is simply a zombie demon. I am afraid that the ordinary, magic power, realm master can be killed by him in an instant. For a moment, Shenli Kui Lei chased Lu Kang, and the center of the hall was murdered. Recruiting abdomen and digging the heart, breaking the intestines and breaking the brain. In the center of this hall, it is a circular field carved out of white lines. It seems that there is a kind of imprisonment ability, so, the power of God, cannot be rushed out, but the disciples of the assessment must not escape, otherwise it will automatically admit defeat. Blood War 3, Lu Kang quickly evaded, and finally, with a long breath, in the busy schedule, he won a chance, the purple jade fan on his hand trembled, brushed a purple soft sword, and actually ejected from it. His body also exudes a fierce atmosphere of the ***** battlefield. The soft sword turned out to be a sharp weapon for cutting gold and jade, and it glowed with a mysterious purple color. It bursted with blood marks and fluttered, and even cut a palm of this magic force. Come down. Jiangxi Yangtze River. Lu Kang once again shouted, swords like the Yangtze River, rolling and cutting, to cut the head of, the power of God. His potential has reached its limit. Fight, one sound. The soft sword pierced the embarrassing eyebrows, but this violent punch also hit Lu Kang's body, the town of Yuan Shaohu, straight up and flew up, fell outside the circle. Then it fell to the ground. In the circle, killing you, passing the customs. Congratulations, Lu Kang, I became a feathered fairy door, a foreign disciple. A chief examiner went forward, with a white sign on his hand, a slight sway. This symbol turned into a medicinal fragrance, surrounded by Lu Kang's whole body. Lu Kang only climbed up, wiped the sweat on his forehead, looked at the bloodstains, and had a lingering fear. Seeing Lu Kang like this, many of the gatekeepers seemed to have retreated. This Lu Kang, stronger than me, but not as powerful as the giant hand square, should be the seventh heavy, the inner strong state, the soft sword. It is really powerful, but I don't seem to have the weapons of the hand. Fang Han suddenly found out that this power was stunned, and the whole body was covered with scales, and the guns were inaccessible. Next person, a young Taoist, throwing the power of killing into the dark portal, suddenly came in the portal, chewing and biting, and hearing the creeps. After the portal, there was another pair of blood-red eyes, which was obviously another power. Another powerful disciple stood at the center of the main hall. The portal was let go, and the power of the gods rushed out. The powerful disciple quickly evaded, but it seemed to be a slow step. Even if he was caught by this divine power, he would tear it. Dare! An examiner screamed, and a white sword light spurred out and directly cut off the sly head, which made this powerful disciple out of danger. Unqualified. The examiner, the cold, announced the results. Next, one after another, the disciples of the elite were eliminated. Among them, they were injured more or less, and some of them broke their hands and feet and were taken down for treatment. I don't take it. I don't take it anymore. It's too dangerous. Go back and enjoy the rich. Some of the powerful disciples saw such sinister dangers and all retreated, saying that they no longer tested these powers. Even a foreign demon cannot kill. The demons, expel the demon, kill the illusion, and seek the true self. An examiner looked at the scene and exclaimed, I come. Just then, the 15-year-old girl of the sword stood up and walked to the center of the circle. It was the Hanyi County Lord, who stood in the middle of the city and was calm and relaxed. It seemed that she had tried to find a lot of experience in the battle. Devil's Head. The examiner nodded and suddenly another force was released. One dance sword pneumatic square, the second dance sword gas mountain river strong. This Red Yi County main sword between the sword, such as splashing the landscape, elegant figure, butterfly pian, Diao Wu, fighting dozens of strokes, suddenly a sword, pierced into the throat, and this fell directly. It is the easiest person to pass the assessment. This county is very powerful. Fang Han secretly said. Then, a voice came from the ear, Fang Han, next. Fang Han quickly squeezed his fists and stood in the center of the venue. Well, you don't need weapons. The examiner saw that he was empty and slightly stunned. I don't have weapons. Fang Han, she said that he was trying to open his mouth and borrowed a weapon. The examiner nodded. Yes, courage. Demon. Bang. The portal opened wide, the power of the gods screamed, the roaring out, the black shadow flashed, a cyan giant punch, screaming and screaming, bombarding the head of Fang Han. Hey, Fang Han, at this time, there is no time to do any action, drumming up the power of the whole body, a fist hard. Explosion. The air exploded between the fists. Fang Han's whole body seemed to be hit by a hammer, and his chest suffocated, as if a blood had to be sprayed out. But at this time, in the depths of the heart, Jui Jinden moved slightly, the medicine spread out all over the body, and the turbulent blood was forcibly suppressed and the whole body was comfortable. Okay, the divine power seems to be a glimpse, but I did not expect that someone actually picked up its fists, but after all, it was without emotions, and did not stop, and rushed again. I have dismantled you. When Fang Han saw such a situation, his heart made a fierce scream and did not evade. He was punched in the waist of his power, and his own chest, once again punched. Boom. Fang Han was beaten almost out of the circle, kneeling on the ground, and that divine power was also beaten back a few steps. So pretty. Lu Kang, who passed the assessment, said that the red-eyed county owner was so ruthless, and they all looked at each other and felt that Fang Han was dead. But they didn't expect it. Next, Fang Hanmeng's squid hit it up, climbed up again, jumped like a tiger, and punched it on the chest. At the same time, he also smashed his leg. One person at a glance, in this moment, even hard to harden. Fang Han is like a **** of war that will not fall. With endless, long and deep physical strength, the more you play the spirit, the more powerful you are. Even if it is an Iron Man, it is broken. Several examiners were also shocked. What kind of martial arts is this cold? Is physical strength so strong? Hey, the power of the gods beat the square cold 10 fists, Fang Han is still 10 legs. The power of God was constantly knocked over to the ground, and it was getting up, and Fang Han was repeatedly knocked over to the ground and climbed up again. At last, that divine power seems to be exhausted, and it is progressed by Fang Han. The body is caught by the body and the volley is lifted up. Hey, Fang Han's fight, playing unprecedentedly, the Jui Jindan in the heart actually melted a large part of the blood, penetrated deep into the bone marrow. With a huge amount of divine power, he made a fierce roar, slammed it and put his power on the ground. No vel b in c om. This deity, he was killed and killed by his life, killed. Killed by empty hands. Passing, several examiners, facing each other, could not conceal the surprise in their hearts. Brother, great, Fang Han walked out of the circle, and Lu Kong, a small Huya from Zhenyuan, gave him a thumbs up. It's very powerful. Red Yi County owner looked at the monster and looked at Fang Han. Chapter 17, Sect Welfare. Chapter 17 Sect Welfare. Without the weapons, the Shenli Kui Lei, made by the devils of the underground was killed by the fists. The children of the gates who were present felt that Fang Han was too mighty and overbearing. At the same time, for the strong bones of Fang Han's muscles, they all evoke a feeling of incredulity. However, it is not surprising that any big family door valve has its own secrets. Perhaps there is a tyrannical method of cross-training the bones and bones in the Fangjia, but it will not let the disciples of this group of valves be ruined. At this moment, Fang Han established his position in their minds, not being despised, but also showing that he has enough value to be drawn. This is not, Zhenyuan Xiaohu Lu Kong, Hongyi County owner immediately discovered the value of Fang Han. The disciples of the Door family are good at attracting talents, and after becoming a foreign disciple, there is a series of competitions every year, which is more than the official court of the court. Think about it, hundreds of thousands of foreign disciples have to compete for the number of thousands of inner disciples. The cruelty of this competition is self-evident. Fang Han is confident, he can mix himself like water, gradually improve his strength, and eventually become a true disciple like Fang Qingshe. At that time, even if he wants to be a slave to the family, Fang does not have the courage to do it. To each other, I just cultivated some cross-training skills, so the bones and muscles are stronger. But the swordsmanship of the county owner and Xiaohuya are all self-contained, each with style, killing moments, much better than me. Now we are all outside disciples, and in the future, we should pay more attention to each other. In the face of the Hongyi County Lord, and Zhenyuan Xiaohuya, came forward, Fang Han naturally knew what he should say, and this one, has a lot of care in the future, is quite interesting. He had long known that the foreigner disciples were very competitive. They could not live without being a group. Moreover, he knew too little about the world. He had to acquire knowledge from other people to enrich his understanding of the world. For example, what is underground magic man? He does not know what it is. Birth determines the knowledge. What can a little horse-raising servant know? Fang Han is also very clear about this. It's all the same door, naturally it should be taken care of each other. Shangyuan Xiaohuya, Lu Kong nodded. When the assessment is over, let's go to the door to send out the things. Red Yi County's main talk, but his eyes are staring at the center of the venue to continue assessment. In the next assessment, some people were eliminated and some people passed. In particular, several of them, the identity seems to be the emperor's grandson of the dynasty, the shot is fierce, the hand is also a weapon of the gods, almost destroyed, and the divine force is solved, showing a profound strength. This made the Fang Han heart secretly vigilant. After one day passed, the assessment was finally over. There were hundreds of thousands of disciples, and only over 20 passed the assessment and became foreign disciples. No vel b in c om. Today's assessment is over. People who have not been tested, waiting in the hall, wait for us to send the cranes to send you out of the Feather Hill. In addition, the disciples who have passed the exam, please come with me, pick up the necessary items of the martial art, we emerge the door will provide you with a place to live. From then on, you are the person of the Feather Door, the immortal disciple, the identity is extraordinary, and you must act in strict accordance with the rules. An appraisal officer screamed loudly and led Fang Han and others who had participated in the assessment to go inside the Tianxianyuan. Required items, I heard that it is a variety of implements, I don't know what it is. Fang Hengsen said in the dark. In a short while, a group of people went to the large storage room in the inner courtyard, where dozens of mouth boxes were placed, which was just one person. Hey, the examiner who led the way opened a big box, only to see a feather coat, a few jade carvings, a shark skin sword, and a few books carved in jade. This coat of clothing is a vestment, woven with silkworms, goldworms, silverworms, and black silkworms. It is a kind of soft medicine. After wearing it, you can walk through the mountains and avoid the 100 insects. The snake worms and ants will not invade. They can avoid 100 poisons, all kinds of suffocating gas, but they are invulnerable unless the implement can be destroyed. These first signs are net clothes, which contain water, as long as the body is dirty. The mind is moving, the law is turned into a mist, and the whole body can be taken around, so that the body can be cleaned and cleaned. The second is the dust-proof character. The third is the soul fire symbol, which can be used at any time. The fourth is true water, all the time, can absorb the moisture in the air, clean and store in the symbol. You will go to the desert to perform a variety of martial missions, experience and repair, these things can be used. Fu, the hemostatic symbol, which contains medicine, can treat all kinds of flesh wounds. You are cut by a sword, and he can stop bleeding, stop pain and heal wounds immediately. The examiner said the clothes and the remarks once, and then took out a sword. The slamming sound was pulled out, and the brilliance flashed, such as the dragon screaming, and the sword flashed an inch. This is the scorpion sword created by Yuha Shanman. Although it is not a flying sword, it is cut into iron, and it contains masculinity. It can kill the ghosts and avoid the evil spirits. It is also a musical instrument. As long as you can, promote it to an inner disciple, when the martial art will give you a real sword of the flying sword, the monks will open in dozens of miles. Also, these books are the 3 basic martial arts of Yuhuaman, Songhae Wansho boxing, filing soft body, dragon-shaped flying tiger steps, and others, which are my feather door rules. The rest of the sects, the beasts, the abyss, the overseas, the things of the great dynasties, the astronomy, the geography, are all in it. Your daily affairs are to study and practice carefully. I introduced an article in the box and the examiner sent it one by one. Good things, my swords are not so sharp. If these instruments can be taken out and auctioned in Beijing, I am afraid that every piece will be worthless. Hongyi County Lord took the Zan Mo Jian in his hand and waved it a little, and he felt the sensation of sensen. Of course, our sword is actually no worse than this scorpion sword, even better, but this sword has the magical blessing of the magical masters in the refining. Lu Kangdao. Even if it is a piece of iron, if you add to the magic power of the magical masters in the forging, it will become a weapon of the gods. Fang Han did not speak, but collected these things one by one, according to the examiner's instructions, found the room where he lived in the Wo Xian Yuan. Wo Xian Yuan is very large, 50 times bigger than Fang Fu, and there are thousands of courtyards in one and another. There are hundreds of thousands of foreign disciples in the Yuhuaman. They live in this mountain plain. They live in the places of Wo Xian Yuan, Yu Xian Yuan, Qing Xian Yuan, Jing Xian Yuan, and Sheng Xian. The hospital, etc. dozens. The size of each of the Shanyuan inhabited is equivalent to a palace, grand and arrogant. Great courtyard, room. When Fang Han arrived at the place where he lived, he saw his own yard. There were a few acres of squares. The house was built with pavilions and swaying bamboos. The courtyard was full of trickles and goldfish. The kingfisher is coming, the air is in the air, and it is really a fairyland. No wonder, you have to sharpen your head as a disciple of the feather door. The benefits of being a disciple are too much. Closed the courtyard door, sitting in the big bed in his room, Fang Han sat down and kneeled down, first put the clothes on, and suddenly the whole body was full of energy and the clothes had a fresh air and rushed. This dress, avoiding poisonous suffocating, avoiding snake worms and ants, is not afraid of ordinary swords. Between the secular, it is a treasure that cannot be found by the 2 golds. In the feather gate, it is only the welfare of the foreign disciples. Subsequently, Fang Han took the Jingyi Fu, dust repellent, soul fire, true water, hemostasis, 5 jade pieces, all of which were blood-stained, and suddenly felt that the mind and these symbols have contacted. There was a flame on the soul of the soul. Good things, these symbols are simply essential items to go out. Later, Fang Han opened the few books of the book. One of the jade books, which reads, Songhae Wansho Boxing, opens, and suddenly, on the top of the jade book, a Taoist dressed in white, actually flickers in it, moves up, moves one stroke, and constantly exercises martial arts. The small voice, conveyed from the jade book, is to explain the mysteries of this set of boxing methods. The details are 100 times better than when Fang Han was stealing school. How can this book still have images, but also make a sound? After studying for a long time, Fang Han did not see why this jade book can show the principle of human figure and vocalization. Even if it is done, it can be understood naturally. Open the other two books, the same as martial arts, flying ling bone boxing, dragon-shaped flying tiger steps. Fang Han opened both books, watching the above explanation, the actions of the white clothes, one by one to study. Smooth breath, full body spirit, Jui Jindan's potency is integrated into the bone marrow. Fang Han felt that his martial arts were refined. Today, the battle with Shenli Kui Lei, hard hit, let him benefit a lot, completely consolidate the atmosphere, more solid, full. When the movement is slight, the bones are sizzling, and Fang Han is facing the mirror. He finds his whole body muscles, like steel casting, and the skin of the whole body is smooth and soft, like the most delicate satin. The inside is dirty, the organs are like iron. He took a sigh of relief, swallowed it in his stomach, twirling, cold and visceral, and kept running. Today's Shenli Kui Lei seems to be iron-making steel, beaten his whole body, and then recalcined the impurities, which greatly stimulated the power of Ju Jin Jindan, making his physical body repair, and once again leaps and bounds. Chapter 18, Worlds. Chapter 18 Worlds. Dragon-shaped flying tiger step. Fang Han took advantage of the opportunity to digest the Jui Jindan drug that was broken up. The body stood, like a dragon like a tiger, trampled on the ground, and walked around the ground. It was the dragon-shaped flying tiger step that I just learned. Yu Huaman's 3 basic martial arts, Songhe Wanshou boxing, he has learned, and Fei Ling soft bone body, is a body method, the whole body exercises, soft and boneless, soft as silk. As for the dragon-shaped flying tiger step, it is an extremely mysterious footwork, and the mystery is not under the 7 star of the 7 stars boxing. Now Fang Han integrates the power of Ju Jin Jindan, and recertifies the basic martial arts of the 2 kinds of Shandao martial art, combined with the actual combat of Shenli Kui Lei, and the experience of many gatekeepers in the battle against today. Thanks to the benefits, the absolute benefits are very slim. Hu Pu Long Yu, a shout, he showed his pace, and there was a green dragon in his head, a white tiger's imagination, and the dragon and tiger swam in the abyss. Like a dragon, the air is like a tiger, the whole body is flowing, and the internal organs are playing a real sense of rhythm. Dragon sucks, tiger swallow, dragon essence, tiger fierce. Between the walks, the hustle and bustle, Fang Han has entered the realm of the 2 things I have forgotten. The internal organs seem to shrink, and condense into a ball. Internal, solid as iron. Puff. Suddenly, when the breath surged, he felt a thick card stuck in his throat, and the bellows seemed uncomfortable, so he coughed and suddenly spit out a large mouthful of blood. After spitting out the thick, the whole body is comfortable. Fang cold tongue arrived on the E, suddenly between, full mouth shungjin, as if there is a sap in the mouth, a little movement, the sap between the tongue, like a clear air, wrapped around the body, the whole body, the interior is refreshing. The people in this realm are prolonging their lives and the internal organs are not sick. Is this the realm of inner strength? Just recorded in the book, if the interior is strong, the mouth will continue to produce the sap of the syrup. There is no impurity between the viscera. The physique is once again improved, it seems that I have reached this realm. The 7th is heavy, it is strong inside. Feeling his own realm, Fang Han immediately knew that he had taken another step. At the heart of the heart, the Jui Jindan seems to have shrunk a lot. It seems that the medicine has melted almost, and it may be a new level of advancement. The potion will all spread to the body. At that time, it will be all I have cultivated myself. Feel the change of Ju Jin Jindan. Fang Han licked his lips. NOVEL-BJN.C Ohm. Subsequently, he opened another book, The Feather Gate. This rule is only useful for weak disciples. There is a ghostly rule for the true disciple of Missy Fang Qingshe. Historically, the law is to bind the weak and be trampled by the strong. Don't look at it first. Yu Huaman introduces a book in the world. Between the talks, Fang Han dropped the rules and opened another jade book, The Worlds. There are 5 books in the tribute, 3 in martial arts, 1 in the rules, and 1 in the worlds. The 3 simple characters show a vast expanse of boundlessness. After the book was opened, it was still an image of alternating light and shadow, and a row of catalogs appeared in front of Fang Han. Fairy 10 doors. The magic road 7 pulses. The demon road 5. The door next to the road. The bottom abyss. Outside the stars. Endless ocean. The secret of the ancients. Treasures. The world dynasty. Void whole day. Wait a minute, etc. There are thousands of catalogs, all the way down, so that the party is not stunned. he never imagined that the world is so wonderful. Set the mind, open the book of the worlds. The world is big, even if you step into the longevity secret, you can't glimpse one of them. The deity only remembers what he sees and hears, and becomes a book of the world. He must read for the disciples of the feathers, know the heavens and the earth, grow up and see. When Fang Han looked at the beginning, he knew that it was a book written by Yuhuaman. He wrote a book and printed it into a book to let all the disciples of Yuhuaman read. Among the books, there are fairy tales, magic roads, demon martial art, all kinds of powerful characters, various magic weapons, and many side gates, many dynasties, oceans, deserts, demons in the earth, and the world. Legend has it that all kinds of voids, mysterious spaces, and the mysterious starry sky in the sky, there are all kinds of medicinal materials, treasures. Anyway, everything is omnipotent. I really want to read this book all over. I am afraid that I have not read it for 3 or 5 years. Fang Han also knows at this time, what is the prototype of the magic force of the underground devil. In the depths of the earth under my feet, there are all kinds of abyss, ground seams, which are dark, but there are all kinds of demons and even races like people. The devil at the bottom of the earth is a huge abyss in the ground, the population in the ground, sometimes touch the ground, burning and looting. It is a big worry for some dynasties. What do I look at in the 10 Commandments of Shandao? Fang Han did not have time to look at it so much. Instead, he directly opened the catalogue of the 10 gates of Shandao, and suddenly showed the names of 10 martial art. Taiyaman, Yuhuaman, Qingqingman, Tongtianjian, Danding swords, Sun and Moon swordsman, One Yuan school, Wangguixian island, Linglong foodie, Crystal cave day. These 10 major Shushan sects are recognized as the 10 Commandments. All over the world, disciples do not know how much, such as, Crystal Cave Day, is a semi-empty emptiness. Inside the palm, crystal. It is the most mysterious master of a longevity secret. For example, exquisite and blessed land, all of them are women, not male. Fang Han did not pay too much attention to other fairy roads. He paid attention and at most noticed that he was in the feathering door. After all, feathering the door was the place where he lived, and he understood some of the strong relationships can directly influence their own situation. Hey, hey, hey. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Come in. Fang Han stood up. Crouching, the courtyard door opened. A 15 and 6-year-old woman with a sword and pearl appeared in the doorway. It was beautiful and graceful. She wore the vestment of the feathering door, which brought out a kind of beautiful, like a lotus flower. It was Fang Hong's, Hongyi County Lord, who met in the assessment. Well, Fang Han, is your martial arts actually refined? Hongyi County Lord has a sharp vision, and at a glance, he saw the temperament change of Fang Han. I have stayed in the realm of breath for a long time. Today, I have broken through the bottleneck with the battle. Fang Han quickly said, right, where do you live in the county? We are all disciples outside the door. The identity is the same. You can call me Hongyi later. I live in the Qingxianyuan, where the female disciple lives. Right now, you are not going to the Jade, the dining hall's dinner. In these few days, it is very likely that the various schools will send martial missions, and we will have to work together. The owner of Hongyi County greeted him and seemed to want to go to dinner with Fang Han. Well, I haven't seen the food of Yuhuaman yet. Fang Han nodded and felt that his stomach was hungry. Yuhuaman's food is all shankai, which can't be eaten in the palace. It is made directly from the Yuhuan temple, which is directly made by the 5-fish pot, which is equivalent to the most top-grade medicated diet, which is extremely conditioning. The main body of Hongyi County walked and said it. 5 gas pots. A pot, can you handle hundreds of thousands of meals? Fang Han surprised. There is nothing, people are the Tao, the treasures that have been learned, the mouth of the pot is very large, rumors that there are dozens of squares, directly condensing the sun really fire. Cooking endless delicious. Even an ordinary chicken after cooking in the 5-scented pot, it will also become a big supplement to ginseng and black bone chicken. In the words of the Red Yi County, they showed envy. How do you know so much in Hongyi? Fang Han asked. Because my mother is also a disciple of Yuhuaman. Later I was hurt by others. I entered the Yuha gate and must cultivate to the mysterious secrets, revenge and hate. The Red Lord of the county faintly said. Killing people to pay their lives, debts for money. Into the feather door, we will step into the fairy road, we'll practice magical power. Fang Han nodded. It's just a matter of becoming an inner disciple earlier. The three martial arts taught by the disciples of the door of the Yuhuaman, the meditation of the caves, the spirit of the Yuanshan, the arrogance of the heavens and the earth, is the real inner door, the ability to develop the magical potential. Famine, now Songhae Wansho boxing, filing soft body, dragon-shaped flying tiger step is just the foundation. By relying on these three basic martial arts, it is impossible to refine the magical power. The Red Yi County owner shook his head. Mixed into the whole, the spirit of Yuanshan, the heavens and the earth are mad. Fang Han chewed these three names. Fang Han, the foreigner disciples are very competitive. In the future, there will be various martial missions to be completed. We must take care of each other before we can be promoted to inner disciples and get better treatment. Hey, Yu Shantang is here. Quote. As I walked and said something, after a while, the two went through the streets of the big city to the other side, outside the palace. On top of this palace, there are three large characters, Yushantang. This is the hundreds of thousands of foreign disciples of Yuhuaman, as well as the places where the inner disciples eat and eat. The vastness of the area is equivalent to 2 or 3 palaces. Among them, there are countless spacious seats. There are 300,000 or 400,000 seats, of which many foreign disciples are shuttled among them, are talking, are sitting at the table to eat, or 3 groups, 5 a group, discuss martial arts and repairs, various martial missions. What a spectacular, shocking soul. This is the fairy. Fang Han looked at the scene of this meal, and his heart was shocked again. Chapter 19, Intrigue. Chapter 19 Intrigue. Such a vast, jade diet hall, such a magnificent palace, is indeed an unprecedented shock to the soul of Fang Han. Feathering the door is the top 10 sects of the immortal way, the Dafa is more powerful, he is not clear in his heart, only a vague concept. But now he really feels the strength of the feather door. What is strength? It is not a mountain reclaiming, but of food, clothing, and shelter. Let's find a place to sit down. The Red Lord of the county greeted Fang Han, and the two went into the jade dining hall to find a seat to sit down. This empty table is a square shape, extremely long and wide, non-stone and non-wood, antique, with a variety of patterns on it, a fragrant scent. The bottom of the sea is agarwood. Fang Han was shocked. This large table is actually precious wood. There are only a few family members in the house, which can only use the wood made of agarwood on the sea floor, and this, Yi Canteen, in the whole, it is all this kind of wood, it seems to be worthless. The width of the rice cooker is also comparable to the size of the governor's banquet, a few feet long and wide. Especially worth noting, there is a large crystal pool next to the dining table. The spring water in the pool keeps flowing, and the fish flows in it. The bottom of the pool is deep and secluded. It seems that the deep pool is not at the bottom. Where is it? At the dinner table, there is a white jade sign with a variety of paper tags on it. What do you eat? The red-eyed owner took a paper sign and looked at it. Then he threw the paper note into the crystal pool. He immediately had a fish and took the paper. In a short while, at the bottom of the crystal pool, a sleeping lotus flower with a large washbasin size rose up. The Red Lily County took the water lily and put it on the dinner table. The flower buds were torn open one by one, and suddenly appeared inside. 4 dishes and 1 soup, a bowl of crystal as jade, like a diamond like rice, steaming, from the bottom of the water, because wrapped in the depths of the water lily, not wet at all, but contaminated with the aroma of water lily, moisture it is refreshing and the index finger is moving. Want to eat? Throw the food gods into the crystal pool, and then naturally float a water lily, which is the food you want to eat. Hongyi County ordered some chopsticks. This chopstick is also a jade chopstick, exquisitely cut, green and dripping, making people want to take a bite to taste. This is magical. Fang Han also learned to take a food god into the crystal pool, and sure enough, a fish fell, swam, about half at the time of the incense. There was also a big water lily floating up. Picking up the water lily and tearing the petals, it shows a beautiful meal. Fang Han took a sip, only felt full of teeth, could not help but gorge, and swept a few meals, and I felt satisfied. November LBJNN. The recipe of the feather door is the inheritance of the immortality, the most healthy. Especially after the cooking of the 5-character pot, the spirit does not vent, but the impurities are calcined, not to damage the stomach, not small. So as long as you enter the feather gate, being a foreign disciple is a dream of many powerful disciples. But you are also a privileged child, so you don't have no etiquette and grace. The owner of Hongyi County looked at Fang Han's gorging and smiled like a flower. I am the right child, the villain is just one, but there are some opportunities. Fang Han chewed, his mouth was vague. Finally found you. At this moment, a person hurriedly came over. It was Shangyuan Xiaohuya, Lu Kong, sitting at the dinner table. Did you eat too much? Fang Han greeted. I have eaten. I came to you because I got a message. I have to discuss it with you. Lu Kong waved his hand and then glanced at the four sides, quietly saying, I got a message, the blue moon in the desert of the Bohai Sea. The country has recently been attacked by several powerful sand shoals. The death and injury have been heavy. The Queen of the Blue Moon has sent a message of help to the Yuhuamen. It is possible that the sect will send us to help annihilate the sand. Satay, is it so powerful? The Red Yi County owner has some doubts. The Blue Moon country is strong, and the population is not as good as several dynasties, but there are also tens of millions. It produces sky blue sand steel, excellent weapons, and blue blood horses are tyrannical. BMW, everyone in the country is still martial, and there are endless generations of masters. Historically, only the sand scorpion has escaped. This information is true. I have inquired about the inner door disciples of several feathering gates, and the news that I have heard there. Among those sand dunes, there are mixed underground devils, and even more, it seems to be there is also the demon road, the disciple of the Mozong is faintly manipulated in it. Lu Kang's voice is lowering more and more. Between this rumor, it is the demon road, the magic road, the beautiful woman of the Blue Moon country, BMW, minerals, wealth, various treasures, and a few mysterious gold veins, so agitated several large sand rafts, and even provided them with instruments. To destroy the country in one fell swoop, or else will not alarm us. It is rumored that the elders of Yuhuamen have already called some true disciples to leave. They will also select some foreign disciples to experience and kill those martial arts masters of the martial arts, the demon leader of the underground, and bring the head back. Obtained the qualification to participate in the assessment of the inner disciples. What? Get the qualification to participate in the assessment of the inner disciples? The main eyes of Hongyi County are bright. Business level cadets must be promoted to the inner door and the assessment can be assessed only after the assessment. It is as if an ordinary person wants to be a foreign disciple. It is not that you can overcome the power of God, but you must first be qualified for the assessment. Fang Han is not recommended by Fang Qingshui's handwritten book. Even if he is refining the realm of the Ten Commandments, he may not become a disciple outside the door of Yuha, enjoying the days of the gods. Nothing wrong, it lenses the qualifications of the inner disciples. Lu Kangdao, I am afraid this time is not the same, because there are several mysterious gold veins inside the blue sky mine in the Blue Moon, which is one of the 8 great powers of our feathering door. It's a great blessing to the greatness of Zan Jinjian's qi. If the people of the Demon Gate are occupied, the attack on our martial art is very serious, so the elders attach great importance to it, and this time they have given 365 places. In the middle of the Urhai Desert, there are many sands, many people, hundreds of thousands, and the 2 countries are fighting. It is no small feat. The strength of the 3 people is not enough. I am afraid I have to find a few more partners. Our strength is a little weaker, so I found a strong group to borrow their potential. Lu Kang pointed to a direction in the distance. Fang Han also cast his gaze on the past, only to see a few pairs of handsome young men and women sitting in a chair in the distance, calm and relaxed, as if sitting in the golden temple, the grace, majesty, showing the unfathomable strength. These are the emperors of the Da dynasty, the princess. The main road of Hongyi County. Yes, it is the royal disciple of the Da dynasty. We have to win the quota of the inner disciples and can only unite with them. We must know that the royal disciples who left the dynasty will certainly not let us win the quota. Lu Kang whispered. It turned out that the royal family, the struggle of the door valve, also continued into the ferry road. Fang Han listened to all this, and already had a look in his heart. For example, Lu Kang is the son of Junyuan Hu. If he becomes an inner disciple, then Junyuan Hu is afraid that he can rise and rise, restricting the royal family from the dynasty. Like the current Fangjia, because of the relationship between Fang Qingshe, I don't care much about the imperial edict. Yuhuamen received a total of 3 royal dynasties, Da dynasty, Dade dynasty, Da Shu dynasty, and many small countries. Each year will give some places for these dynasties. These dynasties are dedicated to treasures, earth, and even incense. For example, the agarwood of this, Yushantang, is dedicated to the Daksu dynasty of the seaside every year. It is the tribute of the Da dynasty to refine the fine steel of the Devil's Sword. For example, Fang Han saw the many temples in Longyuan City. They are all temples of Yuhuamen. During the Chinese New Year, many big families, rich people, and 3 religions all go to burn incense and bless. Although the feather gate is a fairy martial art, it has a close relationship with the dynasty, the gate valve, the secular, and the world. Shan people, there is no barrier to heaven. Hundreds of thousands of foreign disciples represent the battles between the major dynasties, gates, nobles and rights. It is no small feat. I am afraid that vendettas and grievances will emerge endlessly. Fang Han's heart gradually has a bottom. Being a foreign disciple does not mean that you have to live a fairy day, and you will be quiet and relaxed, and the more cruel intrigue is still behind. We used to discuss with them. Lu Kong suggested. Good. Fang Han and Hongyi County also got up at the same time and walked over to the dinner table over there. At the dinner table, 3 men and 2 women, all have a kind of grace, high in the supreme royal family, arrogant, cannot be violated. Seeing Fang Han, Lu Kong, the 3 people in Hongyi County came over, and did not call the 3 to sit down. One of the young men was just a faint road. Lu Kong, is this the helper? Please, I just drag it back. Let's go. Okay. When Fang Han heard this, his heart was very uncomfortable. Why can we see that we are dragging our legs? The Hongyi County Lord was not angry, but the tone was a bit cold. Hongyi County Lord, your swordsmanship is brilliant, and there are many secretive means. And you have a fine weapon in your body. I have heard that you are working with us, it is not a drag. Useful for your place, I am talking about the person next to you. A royal woman spoke, and her eyes looked at Fang Han. This person is a small family disciple. We want a master. This person, where is it drilled? Do you want to rely on us to get an inner disciple? What is the quota? Even if it is obtained, it will be assessed, but it will be wasted. What did you say? Fang Han licked his lips. Chapter 20. Immortal Shark. Chapter 20. Immortal Sharks. You seem to be very dissatisfied. It is only the cultivation of the 7th body in the body. It is very rare outside, but in the feathering door, I will take a look at it. What are your dissatisfaction? Place it. I saw Fang Han biting his teeth and saying, what do you say? The 4 words came. The dissatisfaction was overwhelming. Even if it was a fool, I heard it. One of the young emperor's eyes moved and stood up suddenly. The breath is released. The people around suddenly felt the strong pressure, such as the mountain top, hard and crowded. Especially Fang Han, the feeling is more profound. Only I feel that a royal person is angry, the world is bleeding. Good domineering, I am only a little dissatisfied with the tone, I want to give me a good look, hee hee. Fang Han felt this air machine, his body shrank, his mind just turned, and the wind between the ears heard tears, the air exploded, a palm, like a broken magic hand, appeared in front of his own eyes, palms the irritating eyebrows are all painful. It turned out that this emperor directly hands, the body moves, such as the eagle hit the sky, the shark shattered, the long snake strangled, the tiger hunted sheep. Prince. Liu Kang's face changed slightly and shouted, but it was late. This is the 9 dragons, be careful. The voice of the Red Yi County Lord conveyed to the ears of Fang Han. Dragon swims and slams. Fang Han was in a hurry, and displayed a slap in the dragon-shaped flying tiger steps. He wanted to go outside and let the fist wipe from the shoulder, but the wind swept away. The face is dull. Originally, he was best at 7 steps, but now the martial arts in the door of the feathers with the star's gate is not a good thing. The reaction is still agile, but the dragon-shaped flying tiger step is used by you, it is really spoiled. This young man named Dewang Dynasty, who was called King of Princes, appeared in the place where Fang Han had just existed. He smiled coldly and did not stop. His body shook like a wind, and the trees shook, and his wrists faintly played with the wind and thunder. Sound. Wind and thunder, be careful. Hongyi County Main Road. The martial arts of this person is at least the realm of bravery. Fang Han just sneaked away, and the hand of Principal of the Treasure was smothered with the power of the wind and thunder. It seemed that he had to cut himself. The speed of the prince is too fast. The footwork is wonderful. The realm is obviously higher than yourself. Dodge is no good. Can only fight hard. Your own advantage is that the bones are strong. Recovery ability is several times that of ordinary masters. Fang Hengsen immediately set a countermeasure, no longer dodge, shouted out of the palm of his hand, used the cotton palm soft boxing, in the body of Fei Ling soft bones, contacted the body of King of the Treasure, first soft, then rebound. Rigid and soft 2 gravity roads, hard to pick up the punch of the other side. Boom. When the 2 fists were handed over, Fang Han only felt a strong sniper, and his wrist bones were struck by lightning. The king of the treasure was relegated by Fang Hanzheng 2 steps, and the eyes flashed a strange light, because he saw it. Fang Han's bones and muscles seemed to be extremely strong. The wrist swayed twice, the blood was smooth, the sorrel disappeared, and Fang Han didn't want to. The arm was like a dragon snake, and a dragon came out of the sea, and the long fist hardened the throat of the treasure prince, and began to fight back. Respond. Principle of the treasure. Disdainful cold, while the whole body micro-bow, like a big fishing rod, hands like a shark, such as a crocodile. It seems that the blood basin is a big mouth to prey. The speed is surprisingly fast, just bite into the cold on the arm, and then his bones creaked, such as the sound of steel collapse. Fang Han felt that he was like a big fish hooked up, and was suddenly smashed and lost balance. Principle of the treasure, took the opportunity to stand out. Hey! Fang Han only felt a hot chest, and the whole person flew out and fell to the ground. Fairy people shark. When I saw Fang Han being smashed by the private prince, fishing, a palm flew to the ground, and Hongyi County Lord suddenly fell to the side of Fang Han. You are fine. Nothing. Fang Han's mouth hangs a trace of blood. The internal organs have just been injured. Fortunately his internal organs like iron, or else it is now a very serious rupture. The realm of this treasure prince is higher than mine. The move is even more mysterious. I must train back 100 times and play him to find the teeth. This breath is not out. Lao Su is self-conscious. Fang Hengsen gritted his teeth, but he stood up on the surface. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and spit out a few words: appreciate, admire. The trick of the immortal fishing shark is the martial arts of Wangguixian Island. How dare to ask the Prince of Bao how to learn? The Red Lord of the county saw Fang Han okay. Once again, in the rumor, the disciple of Wangguixian Dao Shuiwu when standing on the reef, handheld fishing rods are used to catch sharks. When you encounter a big shark like a burdock, you can hit a few 100 pounds of big sharks on the shore. This is the way to move the power. Our dynasty, what martial arts did not? The martial arts of Wangguixian Island can naturally be obtained. Prince of Bao, proudly, looking at Fang Han, holding up his hands. Your bones are good, it seems to be eating what kind of elixir. But the actual combat experience is too small, the resilience is too low, but there is some value, not waste. This time let you join. Go, let's send out the information in the martial art, and come back to us. Seeing that Prince Bao defeated Fang Han, another prominent royal youth stood up. Fang Han, don't you really matter? After these people left, Liu Kang's nose was cold and he asked. I will go back first. Fang Han patted the body and walked out of the Yushan Tang. Just a fight, did not attract much attention, because, Yi Yatang, hundreds of thousands of foreign disciples, some friction occurs every day. One of the silent ones returned to the room, and Fang Han checked the reason for his failure. First, there is too little practical experience. Since I practiced martial arts, I have been a few slave servants, and the most important one is the power of God. 2 or 3 battles, how can you compare with the king of princes and the murderous royal family? Second, their own strength is not as good as the king prince, the other party is higher than their own realm. Third, the other party's tricks are too mysterious. Since the king of the treasures can display the martial arts of Wangguixian Island, then I can also display the martial arts of the Stars Gate. There is no scruples. Wangguixian Island is one of the top 10 schools of Shandao, built on the sea. Hard training, thousands of times of hard work. Whoever beat me, I will report it. Fang Han's determination to die. Once upon a time, he was stepped on his head, and now he is cultivating the fairy, and he will never step on his head. Hey, the courtyard door was pushed open, and the Hongyi County Lord came in. Fang Han, the Prince of the Treasures has 1,000 martial arts in one furnace. It's very powerful. You lost a trick today, not awkward. And he started. I am afraid it is not his opponent. I don't feel embarrassed. As long as people don't die, they don't want to die. If they die, they don't have any chance. That's the real embarrassment. Hongyi County, I hope you can help me practice. Fang Han touched his chest. How can I help you practice? Get the sword and kill me. We will fight. I need to fight, a lot of actual combat, to train my own courage. You don't want to show your mercy, even kill me. Fang cold road. The owner of Hongyi County just wanted to refuse, but he saw Fang Han gnash his teeth, as if he wanted to swallow his stomach. He couldn't help but pump the sword, and he was cold. I also see that you are not enough. In this case, I am not welcome. Although I am a lord of the dynasty, I used to have a secret identity to exercise myself. It is the gold medal killer of Nianshuan in the rivers and lakes. There are hundreds of thousands under the sword. The wicked souls. Mang Mang Chu Yu Cho kills people, one person and one sword breaks the soul. A sword emerged from the scabbard, and the main body of Hongyi County showed a chilly atmosphere of assassination, which spurred the cold head of the cold, smashing, swaying between the swords and the eyes of the square cold, eyes, ears, throat, wrist, arms. Fang Han felt the murderous sensen, and quickly evaded. Fight. On his forehead, there was a long blood mark, and the blood ran down, and he could see the white bone inside. How big is the difference between a sword in hand and a bare hand? Especially when the two masters are on the match. He rubbed his head on the head, and the wound stopped the blood. Fang Han continued to do it, and he left and right, and violently counterattacked, but in a short while, he had several more sword marks on his body. However, he did not care about the injury at all, and he exuded infinite energy, trying to avoid the sword light and looking for a counterattack. A column of incense. Half an hour. 1 hour. At the end of the day, Fang Han was up and down, and it was asterisk everywhere. It seemed that he was being slashed and slashed. It makes people look shocked. Stop, you have too much blood flow, do you want to bandage it? The Hongyi County owner stayed. Good, come back tomorrow. Fang Han returned to his room. The next day, the two appeared again in the yard. The Red Yi County owner found that the scars on Fang Han were all good, leaving only a few traces, and the heart secretly praised Fang Han's physical recovery ability as too strong. Once again, the fight is still in the form of square cold and bruises, and the flesh and blood is blurred. In the evening, Fang Han tried to touch his heart and spread the power of Ju Jin Jin Dan. In his feelings, Jui Jindan's potency was released faster and more fiercely, repairing his body. In the evening, he is also practicing hard. Exercise a variety of moves, do not die hard. The third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, every day, he was cut into flesh and blood by the sword during the day, and at night he was physically strong enough to surpass the limits of ordinary people. He wants to let himself completely overdraw, and fully excite the power of Ju Jin Jin Dan and completely integrate into his body. The owner of Hongyi County is also increasingly admiring his perseverance. Every day, he suffers from 1,000 knives and and fuzzy pains. This is not something that most people can bear. 10 days have passed, 15 days have passed, 20 days have passed, c Om. Finally, this evening, Fang Han felt that the 9 golden dragons in his heart banged, and was completely decomposed by his powerful blood. He turned into infinite heat, screaming and snarling inside and outside the body, and finally gathered into one. The golden light of the stalk settled down in its own bone marrow and eventually merged with the bone marrow. The body of Fang Han, the traces of thousands of sword wounds on the skin, kept falling off, like a dragon snake skin. The new skin is more tough and firm, and a thick film is placed inside the sebum. Diaphragm. The whole body is full of endless explosive power. Finally, refining all the Ju Jin Jin Dan. I have laid the strongest body for me. I will have to rely on myself for future cultivation. On the 20th day of becoming a foreigner disciple, Fang Han's body had a suede and a long film. He was waiting for the Red Sense County to come, but he did not expect that a crane made up of a piece of paper flew into his own body. The yard, reaching in front of him, suddenly burned up and appeared a few flames. Outside disciples, Qunxianyuan, party. It is for our outside disciples to go to the mission to practice. Prince Po, today I will live you alive and die. Putting on the clothes, Fang Han stepped out of the courtyard.